your feelings from the past? Is it okay to just be selfless? Or am I the one to keep and drag you down? Is it the same as what I felt then? And covering fake is what I left behind. I left it.
trying to sleep. It must be my dream. The thought of you keeps me awake. I wish you could be by my side. Don't be so mad when I'm right. go today. I wish you could be by my side. Don't be so mad when I'm ready. I wish I could go back in time to fix my mistake. I'm out of time.
Hello, everybody. Hello. It is so nice to have you here today with us. We have a fucking flip-flop ton to get through.
Green, do we look good?
So, we're gonna just kind of jump right into it. To address you in chat, Chris Division, I was typing and the song ended and it scared me a little bit. No, there is no way to recover it, and I'm very, very sad about it. Okay, so there unfortunately is no way to recover it. So we've got several different people coming at me from several different quadrants right now. The support for Himpleton is pivotal. Okay, Tanuki and Rose Malay, two incredible, beautiful, strong women, are currently at war with me. And it's absolutely disgusting that I'm doing this, and I am extremely sexist and transphobic and evil. So I just want to, yeah, you know what? I think admitting it is the first step, you know? So I just want to show you guys that. What is this? So it's the little horse that plays the piano. We kind of need that.
Big Swag knows what's up.
That guy knows what's up. I'd drink a beer with that motherfucker.
What is the
you know.
context of that? Why is
It's a horse that plays music for people when they get out of the hospital, or like when they like wake up from a coma or some shit.
What?
I can't remember.
Why do they have that?
I don't know.
I think if I woke up to that, I'd think I was in hell.
I know, right? Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm fucking hallucinating.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's awesome. That's why it's
There's a
awesome.
horse playing a piano really badly. I'm dead. I'm just dead.
We only use this
That's
for
awesome.
our schizophrenic patients.
All right, so starting out with Rose Malay. So Rose Malay is currently in the process of blackmailing me with a false copyright strike if I don't take my satirical song parody of her down. On top of that, she's currently planning on false striking anyone who covers too much of her video on Dog Pack, which hasn't even come out yet. Okay, so let me show you these DMs.
You didn't write that down. You said, yeah. Been
Just a heads up, you should probably unlist this. So she is about to do something called a guilt by association technique about the fact that Falgi of the Op Block sings the chorus of this parody song. Okay? Now, I want you all to keep this in mind. I am not sweeping for Falgi. I've had Morale on my stream multiple times talking about the Falgi stuff. And in fact, I am currently planning a Falgi stream that I will do after his response comes out. So no, I'm not sweeping. No, I don't care. I'm not going to take this video down. Like, just because Falgi's in some shit, I don't give a fuck. Okay? So I say, I'm okay. I can have formally done, he can have formally done action. Oh, okay, fuck. Dude, I'm dyslexic. I'm okay. I can have formally done something with him and still not advocate for his actions. Planning on streaming about it when his response comes out. Thanks for looking out, though. Here, we need a little bit of music here. We need appropriate music here, especially for Tanuki coming out. But we're definitely gonna do
the cameras, man.
What's it called?
Me and Vic were on sync.
Oh, what's it called? Lipstick to Void.
Music to fap off.
Lipstick
Music
to
to
Void.
jerk off and come to.
Lipstick to make sure you will never stop jerking.
By Lo-Fi Girl.
Okay, here.
A video of her like jacking off in bed for 24 hours.
So then Rose says to me,
It's fucking torture.
the dude slandered me and said I worked with a pedophile because he mentioned me in his Google Doc. I'm just saying, it bothers me. And you're complicit by leaving that up. So I will ask you once again, kindly, please unlist it. It makes me uncomfortable. You can also watch the videos to know his interactions with me have been odd. And I say, that is such a ridiculous and insane standard, Rose. We were having a nice and normal conversation, and you made it wacky. Because I was just talking to her about her upcoming video, and how I'm excited to see it, the new dog pack video, that's been hyped up for months now. He made a chorus on a song I wrote and made. He had nothing to do with it otherwise. I didn't remove it after it turned out Jacqueline, who is Jacqueline Sophia London, if you guys recall, was a false accuser towards Turkey Tom. I'm not going to do it now. It does not reflect on me to have something that I did that had a collaborator that I no longer stand with or support. That happens all the time and isn't seen as complicity to any normal person. Please respect my answer and move on from this. We don't need to be hostile or mean or silly. This is when everything changes. Apparently, this was her being nice.
We're about to be in hell.
What?
You had a guy on who said these things to me in a video about me. That made me uncomfortable. Sorry to hear it made you uncomfortable. I hope you're planning on going to each and every creator who has talked about you and had him on doing the same thing you're doing to me now. You can do the right thing or be an asshole, but to pretend I'm being unreasonable here says way more about you than it does about me. Also, you don't know the conversations I'm having. I don't know what that's supposed to imply. But you giving a platform to this man for the sole intention to mock me. You don't give a shit. And I'm a forgiving person. Just unlist the video, and we can be cool, despite everything. And I say, no thanks. If that's the only way for us to be cool, then we are unfortunately not. I was more than happy to be cordial and pleasant and polite, but I stand by making a funny joke about you. Funny joke song. I'm telling you right now, if you don't unlist the video, I will take down any live stream where you watch my content. In parentheses, my upcoming dog pack video. These kinds of streams explicitly go against YouTube's policy, replacing viewership of the original
Detroit
content.
representing here. Did I
Oh,
miss
shit.
Remnant? If so, please rewind an hour or two.
No, you haven't. He's not coming until 5 p.m. my time, which is in 45 minutes. I'm very excited to talk to Remnant. Thank you so much for the $20. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I just broke character so hard it flashbanged me. Replacing viewers of the original content. It's just that most creators just have to be nice about it. I'm telling you, I have no reason to be nice to you. So, a little note here, this is not true. My content is transformative, and I explained this to her multiple times in these DMs that I do not show the full thing of, because then I would have a thread that would be 10 pages long, okay? So, I explained multiple times, my reactions make a video 2 to 3 times longer than the original runtime of the video. I substantially respond to and talk about and critique the video that I am watching, okay? Unless it's a chibi reviews shit video where I'm literally just watching him vlogging and eating fish, okay? Other than that, I'm very transformative with my content. My content is very transformative. There's no question about it, okay? It is within policy. Next. So I say, holy shit, okay. So now you're threatening to false copyright strike me if I do not unlist a stupid parody? Not a good look. It's actually transformative, which is why reaction content is such a huge thing on YouTube. If I were you, I'd be careful about how you proceed next. You'll be hard-pressed to find anyone on your side that, about that, and it will vastly outshadow any press that you get on your dog pack video. which is true. So then she says, sorry, Jesus, I'm so sorry. That is not intended. That was not intended misgendering. I am very sorry, Rose. Please don't call me transphobic. Anyways, streaming someone's entire video is not fair use. I tried being cordial. You just want to bully people and get mad when they actually stand up for themselves and refuse to be okay with it. Now, if any of you know about Rose, you know that this is the opposite of true, okay? She is a cry-bully. She is the one who I call out and I criticize, and then she's going to dog on me, but whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Leak the DMs. I don't care. Your stream serves as a replacement to my video. People who don't like me but want to hear my exclusive info will watch your stream instead of mine, which hurts my video. So I say, it absolutely is. It is 100% transformative, which is a form of fair use. I'm not looking for your permission when you are directly threatening my livelihood because you're too much of a brat to be able to take a joke song. You're definitionally being a bully right now and attempting to censor me, Lumfow, because you can't take a satirical song that criticizes you. This is so fucking pathetic. She's trying to censor me. So, moving on. She's currently drafting a fake cease and desist to me. This is not a joke. This is not a joke, by the way. I asked her to check out how behavior like this went for Dark Viper AU, but she seems confident. What the fuck? Joji, stop. Joji, stop. Stop. Joji, stop.
Joji, get away from Vic, man. What the fuck?
Joji, no!
Harrison, you haven't been seeing for the past... While you were doing that, me and
It's
Vic
fine,
were
it's fine,
messing
it's
with
fine.
our
I'm still
cameras to
doing
look like red voids.
That's awesome, man. So I asked her to check out how behavior like this went for Dark Viper AU, but she seems confident that it will work this time. Clearly, Rose is thriving and doing very well mentally. We love to see it. So let me read you these. Out of curiosity, how much of your video can people watch while still being transformative in your eyes? Is this too complicated for you to be able to answer? I'm informing you now that I fully plan to take this to court. If you decide to violate my copyright protections. So I say, and I just refer to the message above, and I say, are you able to answer this very simple question since you said one of the issues is the fact that it's the whole video? Do you have an email? I'm drafting up a cease and desist letter. So then I say, I'm undecided on how much of it I want to watch at the moment. I may just watch a TLDR on it. And you know, it might happen, Rose. Somebody might make a TLDR of your video for people to watch, for streamers to watch. Wouldn't that suck? Wouldn't that suck? Anyways, Rose says,
Yeah.
and the fact that you think there is just proves you're either being intentionally dishonest or don't understand this. A lawyer is not going to appreciate your dishonesty here. The passive-aggressive explanation point at the end. And I say, how the fuck is he going to prove I'm being dishonest? Ha ha ha. Your Honor, the explanation point at the end is clearly passive-aggressive. And then Rose says in quotes, I might not do that, knowing full well that you're going to do that. So then I give her my public YouTube email for the cease and desist, of course. And then here is her with her intent to copyright strike anybody who goes over her video. Or too much of her video, I should say. Here's what's gonna happen. My original music will be playing throughout the entire video, which will trigger a shutdown the moment you try to live stream it. And if that didn't work, I'll do it manually. So Rose is going full fucking villain mode. Now, I not quote tweeted this. I not friend of the show quote tweeted this and said, this is so fucked up, Rose. What the fuck? The bridge is burned. We appreciate our boy. She says, I'm in the right. He doesn't even show the full DMs here, by the way. You want to know what's about to be so funny about this? Check this out.
You forgot last stream's chibi derail. Adding another to the queue is punishment. Watch.
I'm gonna be honest.
HSAEQ8YVQM.
I'm gonna be honest. I may not be able to do it this stream either. So if that happens, I'll keep. Go ahead and send me the video in DMs, and I promise that we will start stream tomorrow with it if I don't get it tonight. Okay, I promise. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Juro. You know I love you, Juro. Thank you for the 33. I really appreciate it. Okay, so notice something about these DMs that are shown. It's only her side. It's only her side. She says that I don't show the full DMs, and then only shows her side of the DMs. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. What is this? Oh, I'm not being transparent enough. 4 blocked messages. 3 blocked messages. Like, what is this? What the fuck is this? Like, it's just absolutely insane to me. It's fucking crazy, dude. We're gonna do the alien from Annihilation for the Alex Tanuki stuff. But you know, it blows my mind. It truly blows my mind, okay? Like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Oh, and then we're gonna do Reborn from the Hereditary soundtrack. Yes. Yes. Of course. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Like, ladies and gentlemen, you just cannot make this shit up, man.
Can you chills read number 15, Princess Rose of Disney?
Number 15.
Dude, why is my face
Princess.
on your screen?
Excuse me. I'm doing I'm sorry. I'm
know.
doing a cameo, guys. Sorry.
Can you shut up?
All right. Number 15. Princess Rose or Daisy. Wait, fuck. Am I retarded? Did I read that wrong? Oh, Princess Rose of Disney. Yeah, I did read it wrong. Okay. Let me try one more time. Number 15, Princess Rose of Disney. There you go. There you go. Thank you for the 10. Well, no, because it was a question to ask me to read it. Okay,
Why do you
moving
have
on.
The big Stein in your. Never mind.
Moving on to Alex Tanuki. Alex Tanuki. So that's our Rose segment for today.
Alex
I will
Tanuki.
keep you posted on my impending lawsuit. But let's get to Tanuki.
Yankee Splanky.
So, Tanuki made the following post about me and other people. So let's get into it. The following people are content creators who will attempt to not speak about their friend. Everyone's in similar groups and servers. And will not do the true thing that's right to protect a community. Ducky, Gwamgo, GLC, Chloe Games, John Roblox, Ruben, Mythical, Himpleton.
John Roblox, dude. I need to find this man.
This John Roblox guy's really scary. These people
So
all
John
have
Roblox is like a
demons
battery
in their closet and do not care about child integrity. Child integrity requires speaking up even when it seems wrong because it's the right thing to do.
A rose and desist, I guess.
Thank you.
do you
Rose and
mean it
desist. Sure.
seems
Thank you for the
wrong?
2. I know. I don't understand.
What?
All y'all do is make YouTube videos for 9 years and go with the public opinion, which is the opposite of what I do if you know me. Before I go, prove me wrong. Have me not be the only one seeing this. I grew up with all these people since the age of 13. I've been making content on the Himpleton channel for, I think, 4 years. So that's interesting.
So
This
you've just turned 17.
so true. This has never been about the safety of children. It has been about relying on a channel that can't get sponsors because of the iffy content they cover, so they rely on sensationalism for ad revenue. You guys need to make your own videos and leave Parlo. And Lolly, don't ask. Don't ask. Leave Parlo and Lolly likers on future subjects like these. Leave them out. So Tanuki is literally saying we shouldn't cover people who like Lolly. So protecting people who like Lolly. Gotcha. Just making sure. Just making
Every
sure.
donation on the stream goes towards Himpleton's court case.
By the way, Tanuki it proclaimed herself as an official Roblox child safety advocate. She is now literally saying that we should sweep for Lolly. Really cool. Commentary YouTubers have such a monopoly on this community where you guys believe they're good
Monopoly.
people because they have opinions on the internet. Question everything and make it clear where you stand. Independent actors is how we make change. I believe I'm done talking about this because I've said my piece. Spelled peace wrong, by the way.
The devil.
Since October, I have attempted to be discredited, but the evidence has never been discredited. Take a stand. Join the clan. No, she doesn't say that. Take a stand because it's the right thing to do.
Take a
and
stand.
not because
Favorite
of
Kanye
loyalty
Wally.
to your favorites or people you dislike.
Person's
Be neutral in
racist,
every situation and question everyone, even me.
Listen,
Logging off. Said what I need to say. Bye. So Tanuki said, question everyone, including her. So I'm prepared to do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. So let me read what I said. All right.
I need to stretch my arm and scratch my nose.
Hi, Alex Tanuki. First of all, Mythical has me blocked, and I have spoken out about his previous actions multiple times. Here's this tweet, just to pull it up for you guys. On stream with eSkeletox, British Runner, and Mythical. I respond to this, doesn't that guy show people animal gore? And then I say, you actually didn't know, Lamau? Here's him lying to push abuse allegations that the victim didn't want to make public because he had a grudge against the guy, spreading doxes, and showing animal gore to minors. Wow, 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 wow. That was a good timing on that one. So anyways, I did that. Then, secondly, outside of Guamgo and Ruben, I should clarify, actually, made an error. I also know Ducky and sparsely talked to him and am in Guamgo's server, but to my knowledge have never sent a message in there.
These would be really good emotes.
Okay.
Yeah, they would.
So, secondly, outside of Guamgo and Ruben and Ducky, who I speak to sparsely, and are not in any server with me.
Last shekel for the night. Are we sure Rose is a girl? That voice is kinda Seuss.
Well, Rose is trans. Thank you for the 10. So make of that what you will. Anyways, secondly, outside of Rubo. Outside of Ruben, Guamgo, and Ducky, who I speak to sparsely and are not in a server with me, I don't know who any of these others are. Third, I have talked about and streamed about the Schlepp situation, including clarifying multiple points of information, such as Parlo stealing the information about Ace the Narrator and twisting it for his own grudge. I don't know what the hell you're yapping about, but it's so funny to act like I'm the one with a lack of integrity when it comes to children and victims of abuse, when you are the one who advocated for and vouched for someone who sent NSFW material to a child. We're going to turn this one up, because this is the swan song right here. Okay? Because, and then I say, so you vouched for this person who sent NSFW to a child. Why did you do that, Tanuki? Out of curiosity? Because she told you that she was innocent. That's it.
Person's pedophilic for an amazing reason.
That's it. That's the only
This person
reason.
groomed a child for an amazing reason.
She said she was innocent, and you believed her with zero attempt or effort to see if it was actually true. This is around the time that you were bragging about being an official Roblox safety advocate and speaking about child safety at the UN. Well, guys, I have an update for you. You know how Tanuki multiple times bragged about speaking at the UN? Well, here's the funny thing. There's a search feature that you can use in the UN database where you can look up every single speaker who has ever spoke at the UN. Let me show you something. Alex Furuga, which is a public name, don't worry, I checked and I made sure it's not doxing. No match found. No match found. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Tanuki.
No.
when Dickers and I eventually, when Dickers and eventually me confronted you about this, you manipulated the situation and immediately started going manic. We were guilted into deleting that segment out of both of our streams, and to this day, I regret it. It is absolutely insane for you to throw stones knowing how fragile your glass house really is. By the way, here's Tanuki's alt saying that Schlepp shouldn't care or be upset by people making a Shota rape porn art of him as a child. As everyone knows by now, Schlepp was a victim of grooming when he was a child. Is this something that someone with quote-unquote integrity for children would do? Thanks for coming to my Tanuki TED Talk. So let's show these messages from the Tanuki alt. Schlepp has been sent thousands of these, referring to the, again, Shota rape porn that has been made of him. This is just an excuse not to respond to the horrible things he's done. It took a group I heavily disagree with to expose this. This is nothing for Schlepp. Sorry, but the amount of pedos that go after him on the daily, this is an excuse. Schlepp used to tell me how he would be sent these horrible, vile pictures of real people every day back when we were friends, and when it happened to me, he told me to just ignore it. As a safety hunter, he's faced real pedos. What a childish excuse.
What does he want them to do? Yeah, talk about this.
Also, it's good advice to say ignore it. That's good advice. Like, I don't understand.
Let it linger in your... No, you've got a point, Tanuki. Let it linger in your head. Continuously think about that shit.
Dude. Okay, so let me pull this up because this is another one that we recovered from Tanuki's alt. Let's get one last good song in here. Let's do.
He's rotting.
Pulling the tweet down.
Is it Let Me Down? Let Down. Yeah, that's it.
By Radiohead?
By Radiohead. By I'm Getting Radiohead. Okay, so here we go. As soon as it loads.
He's let down for an amazing reason.
He was let down for an amazing reason. Huh. Why is it not loading? Is YouTube down? Haha. That's a reference.
He's
to my...
YouTube for an amazing reason.
This
John
guy took down
YouTube
for an
amazing reason. Why is it just not loading? What is it doing? Why is it being evil? Oh, okay.
This guy grooms children the old-fashioned way.
Okay, here we go.
Harrison, it's not showing your channel.
Shut up. Hope Schlepp responds. Hope Schlepp responds, bro. Because if he doesn't, and this is all true, he's genuinely the biggest hypocrite in history. Tanuki's alt enters in. This was his response. I'm not even joking. What a sad and pathetic way to go out. He's been sent hundreds of these images of people doing vital acts to him in a day. He is not in any danger in any way, shape, or form. He is simply being held accountable. This is so fucking pathetic. Tanuki is saying that being sent Shota rape porn of Schlepp as a child is him being held accountable.
The method.
Fucking disgusting. Your trauma is not an excuse for not being accountable. Speaking as someone with the same trauma Olympics, by the way, you need to respond and not have your associates respond, because this is so weird. Whenever someone who's not even affiliated with Wally's, Parlo, or Nathris asks, just shoved under. I have PTSD from images of me depicted on R34 sites and harassment I got. You cannot make the fucking irony up about this, dude. She has PTSD from being depicted in a pornographic sense. And then,
Okay.
but then when Schlepp is depicted as a child being raped as a grooming victim, he's not allowed to be upset about it. It's just him being held accountable, guys. This is a Roblox safety advocate. Anyways, he cannot act like this because the people are vile that are exposing him, that the truth is not valid. That doesn't make them not vile, and it doesn't make it not good. Good God, I get so mad. Oh. All I have to say is shut the fuck up.
Say the N-word, please.
No.
How are you doing that to your face?
What?
And she calls herself a child safety advocate?
Yep.
Yuck.
Yep. I know. It's gross, isn't it? It's gross, isn't it? So, really cool. We love it. We love it. We love to see it. So, we do have a little bit more time, so I want to go ahead and go over a little bit, kind of a preface to what Remnant and I are going to be talking about tonight. Oh, wait. We may have one little Alex Tanuki tidbit. Hold on.
Why?
Wait, what does this mean?
Alex, why? You stupid bitch.
Dude, I need to stim.
Okay, so let's get into kind of what or kind of one of the things that Remnant and I are going to be talking about tonight. So, as you guys know, I have been in the Chibi Schlep wars for what feels like thousands of years at this point. Okay, and I've been in the trenches. Okay. Okay, so this just proves, real quick, this just proves that we checked the full name of Alex Tanuki, and it's just, like, she's not actually included in any of this, and she has never been to the UN. So that's just, you know, doing our due diligence, because she will claim that we didn't check the full name. But we just did.
Right, I'm heading off. Have a great stream.
All right, thanks, man. So, as you know, I've been in the Lolly Wars. Okay.
On screen now.
Can you be on screen?
Yeah. You know.
What?
Co-host, man.
Friendly reminder that not everything happens publicly.
True, Grady. True, brother. Or even better than that, Grady, not everything has to happen publicly. That's the way I like that, right? Okay, hold on.
Wait, hold on, I gotta resume. There we go.
What?
Read Alex Tanuki's KF thread.
Not on stream. Not on stream, Arnick. But I will. I will. Thank you for the 359. Yeah.
Reader full docs.
Yeah. No. Reader address. No. Okay, but so, as you guys know, I'm in the trenches when it comes to these lolicons. Okay? And, you know, I've been battling them day in, day out, okay? I just occasionally check Twitter, and I see that a freak has always responded to me, and it's kind of become my little hobby where I just, like, you know, I say vile things to them. It's fun. So, this is, here's one in question. This person's named Quantum Crystal. They're 34 years old. It said so in their bio. And they said to me,
they're a furry. They don't agree that lolicon is pedophilia.
Exactly.
Or is it a child? It's
Thank you so
equal
much,
to-
Spoops, for the 5 memberships. Really appreciate that. Hopefully some regulars get them. Oh, yeah. We got Juro with the gifted. Hell yeah. Okay. Anyways, so Quantum says, they're fictional characters. Unlike real children, their age doesn't matter. Because it and be changed on a whim. It can be changed on a whim. Pedophilia is attraction to ages 0 to 13.
This guy typed this with one hand, by the way.
Yeah, he's jacking off while he did this. Aphibophilia is attraction to ages 13 to 16.
Oh my god.
Lolly does not equal child. Lolicon does not equal pedophile. So then I respond and I say, I have no idea what incredible cope spawned out of this, but I was literally just saying this to communicate that they did in fact like Lolly because it was to a separate thread. Yeah, man, I'm only into fictional children, so it's actually not pedophilic. What the fuck are you talking about, Lamau? It's a depiction of a child. And then Quantum responds, I had a feeling this was your stance, so I preemptively made my stance. And I really don't feel like arguing with a blue check mark. Bye.
Bye.
So then, this is the point that I had to make here. It is so funny to me how they always want the smoke. Like, they're always like, yeah, debate me, like, talk to me, actually have a conversation with me. But then as soon as you start responding to them, they find, like, some weird mystical reason to block you, you know? Like, every single time without fail. As soon as you...
blue check marks.
Yeah, as soon as you give, like, an actual reason behind, like, why they suck and, like, why it is pedophilic, they're just like, well... It's actually a Tuesday, so it's kind of my day to block people. Like, it's literally shit like that, where it's just like, what are you talking about? What's going on? So, I make the point, regardless of it being fictitious, it is still a depiction of a child that you are jacking off to. It looks like a child, and it oftentimes sounds like a child, etc. Okay? By the parameters set by this person with, it is a fictional thing, right? A hyper-realistic CGI depiction of a child that isn't particularly based on anyone in particular, thus it's a fictional depiction, would not be pedophilic. So you could make the most visually accurate, like, CGI copy of a child for sexual purposes, and to this person, this would not be pedophilic because it is fictional.
Yeah, but you're twisting it. You're twisting it.
Nope, just using your own logic against you. Little quantum, and you've got this like pill in your this knife in your little like name here. I see you like to be
They're
edgy.
actually part of eating disorder Twitter.
It's just so funny. You try to be edgy, but then as soon as I, actually want to talk and be edgy back, it's just like the energy is just not an equivalent exchange. And if you go to this person's bio, which I highly do not recommend, you'll immediately see that they're a lolicon. I mean, obviously, you already knew by what they said, but like, whew, it's rough. I'm just warning you.
Not a lolicon. We call these people freedom of speech advocates.
Of course. I'm so sorry. You're right, dude.
Yeah.
And then, so I say, you're jacking off to a representation, a depiction of a child. And then, quote from them, their age doesn't matter because it can be changed on a whim. And then I say, isn't this just worse? Like, is it not just worse? That feels worse. That feels decidedly worse. Like, I don't understand this. I don't understand why that's better. Like, well, actually, it's okay because they could, I could make them 5 if I wanted. Okay. Yeah, I'm just I'm always just so like stunned by these people. These people stun like the ever-loving shit out of me.
Sometimes it feels like they're just trying to shock you at this point.
It genuinely feels like it, It feels like it. I just don't understand it. Like they're very good at like flashbanging me because they just say things that I'm just never expecting because of how stupid it is. It's just like, oh, holy shit! Like, oh my god, you are evil. You are evil.
What is wrong with you?
Sorry, I'm just messaging Remnant. Okay.
What?
Fears Parlo's house OC logic strikes again.
Yes, but I must say I'm not a advocate for doxing. I have to say that. Thank you for the 2.
Yeah. You should have sent us the document, by the way, off stream.
Sorry, wrong media. Sorry, wrong media. He said, damn, this is crazy. Sorry, wrong media.
What?
What the fuck? That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Dude, thanks. Amazing.
We're giving that
comment.
one a like.
This guy's pretty funny. He like at one point was like, have you heard from Ruben? I'm like really worried about him. He seemed upset the last time like he spoke publicly, and I was like, dude, I don't I don't speak to him regularly, but I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's fine.
I don't know.
I'm not really worried, man. It's fine.
They either block you or get their freak friends to mass report
your,
or Twitter account. There is no in
Whole page is
between.
Italian brain rot or porn.
Yeah, exactly. Sliggins, thank you for the 5. That's exactly right, Sliggins. They either block you, or they mass report you, or they start sending lolly images to you. This has happened in a lot of my replies, which is why I'm very selective with the posts that I've been pulling up, because they will just post like lolly images, not porn, thank God, but lolly images nonetheless, and be like, yeah, you're the hypocrite. And I'm like, what is this cell phone? Like, what's going on? Like, it's like, yeah, you're the hypocrite. Image of a 5-year-old in a bikini. And it's like,
I bet this upsets you. Really?
But it's so funny because it's like not even in like, oh, I'm gonna bother you with this. It's more like this thing of like, this'll show you. And I'm like, no, this just proved everything I just said completely correct. I'm so
You're
fucking
weird,
confused
bro.
right now.
You're
Yes,
weird.
you are a weird motherfucker. Okay. Okay, so going a little bit more into what Remnant and I are going to be speaking about today. So last night we watched Remnant's video that he did with Straub, who is Rev Says Desu's wife. And if you don't know Rev Says Desu, he is an infamous lolicon, or should I say, sorry, a free speech advocate, of course.
Thank you.
And Straub actually has the same past where she has advocated for lolicon multiple times. There are actually allegations of, Rev's wife that I didn't tell Remnant yet. I want to see what his reaction will be, really, where there are allegations that she encouraged minors to send her porn. And
As you do.
there is no, to be specific, there's no like supporting evidence for this, and so that's why I'm calling them what they are, which is allegations. But anytime someone posted that for like 5 tweets in a row, when somebody posted that allegation under one of her tweets, she deleted the tweet, which is
Seems
really strange. Really strange. I do not understand that. But to be extremely clear, and we said this when we reacted to it on stream, Remnant was completely unaware of this. Remnant found Straub from the tweet where she like said something about like, well, OnlyFans girls, like you're gonna judge an OnlyFans girls, but then like you won't judge your pride or something like that. And so Remnant had like a conversation with Straub based on that tweet only. Okay, so nobody, when we were watching it, and of course I was not, and chat was not, from anybody that I saw, was blaming Remnant for having Straub on. But a few of us, Nick Andros and I, both reached out to Remnant and were kind of like, hey man, just so you know, this person is like fucked. This person is fucked. Obviously do what you want.
Does Rev and his wife have kids? I hope not.
I sure hope not, dude. But then I say, like, obviously whatever you do is your choice, but like, it's like, you probably don't. This is just something you should know. You know what I mean? Because it's like, of course you're not going to know this, especially because all of her tweets advocating for lolly are deleted. So it's very easy to miss this. It's not very well archived. I found archives, but it's not very well archived. It's like kind of in obscure places on kiwi farms and stuff like that. So I do not blame Remnant at all.
Do you think their viewpoints are going to change, or it's just going to be the same?
I feel like it'll get worse, to be completely honest. Well, Straub supposedly...
Here's some cosplay of my 5-year-old.
Straub potentially isn't a lolly advocate anymore and just was to impress her husband. I don't know.
That would be insane fucking cope.
Yeah, it would be. So here's what Remnant said. A lot of you brought to my attention Rev and Straub's lolicon history, and I just want to make it abundantly clear, I do not condone that at all. I think that shit is flat out evil, let me be clear. I'm on the polar opposite side of all of that, and I just didn't know anything about that when we did the live stream. The reason that I had her on is because I was talking about her tweets online, and she joined the chat, and I wanted to hear her out when it comes to her opinions about promiscuous behavior and social shame. Very simple. So they weren't even communicating prior, right? Like, I mean, even more, like, I wouldn't have cared if they were, but, like, this is even more proof that, like, he had no idea. There's no reason for him to have had any idea. If you want more details about everything in depth, feel free to join Himpleton's stream in about 2.5 hours. If you're just seeing this post, you can join the stream then, or listen to the VOD later to really understand where I'm coming from concerning all of this. So, and like, dude, let me just...
What a nice guy.
I'm sorry. I hate to be like, I
love Remnant so much.
See, he's mocking me because I was just saying this in the VC before I started stream. So, I love Remnant. I think Remnant's fucking awesome. Remnant and I may not agree on different things, but we do agree on some things. And, I just really admire the fact that he is respectful and he is just he has always been very kind to me. And, you know, he does stuff like this, like, you know, shout me out when he doesn't really need to. He has no real reason to. And, you know, he's a very responsible dude. You know, I admired him from the first time we watched him when he, as a prior Leaflet fan, was the only person of the Leaflet fans who actually spoke out about the grooming server and was like, this is not okay and she's not taking accountability for this. I thought that was fucking awesome. So, yeah. Yeah, just to make all of that clear. And what else we got here? We have 7 minutes.
I'm gonna bring Remnant here. I should probably take off my chain.
I think it's gonna be over DMs, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he wants to join my server. I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't.
You want to talk to my retarded audience?
Yeah. Do you want to just like go into the live channel?
Tyrone?
Yeah, dude, where is Tyrone? It's actually a great question. Here, I'll talk to chat for just a little
Look,
bit.
he immediately commented as soon as I mentioned him. Yeah,
which is funny because he wasn't even like.
Me.
It's funny because he wasn't in chat until just now too. You literally did summon him.
I just summoned him.
Don't forget that Straub used to be a school teacher while posting about Lolly. Jesus Christ. That's horrible.
It's bleak.
It's horrible. It's genuinely horrible. Like, did Tanuki help Parlo in attacking Schlepp? Yes. Yes, she did. Straub makes sense, but isn't Rev's views on Lolly very public and kind of just an obvious thing? I mean, yeah, but I don't think he was even necessarily aware of Rev being... Because, again, the only thing that he knew was this tweet, right? Rev says Desu is bi. Some streamer, whatever, Straw, said he was dating a dude when they first met, and he said that was right. But he's like this, like, fucking right-wing... Dude, come on.
What?
Come on. And he literally, like, dresses up, like, his... Have you seen Rev says Desu's VTuber, Vic?
It's like a girl.
What?
I will have you know I am partially regarded Vic.
Thank you, Sapient.
And the girl with the red eyes.
I would say it's a little bit more than a girl. I'd say that it's like a little girl.
Yeah, a little girl with red eyes and like bat wings, I think.
Yeah, like a little girl. Like a very little girl. Yeah. Also, if any of Rev's audience is in chat right now, can any of you tell me? I was looking up like questions to ask Remnant for this interview, and I found this. Does anybody know what this is? Who the fuck is Alex Gunter or Alec Gunter? Okay, he looks like a chud. He looks like Tectone. He looks like fat Tectone. And he was just like screaming in this, like his little highlight reel was just him like
all
screaming bloody murder.
YouTubers so disheveled looking.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Why are we like the only normal looking?
I don't know. Dickers looks pretty normal, I guess.
I guess.
I don't know. Okay. Fat Tone. Who is Alec Gunter?
He's saying this like this is a household name. Oh, that's
I know. Oh my god, no way, Alec Gunter, dude. Fuck.
Oh,
Wow.
it's big ol' Alec.
Sorry, I'm just messaging Remnant.
Isn't this Tipster's top guy?
Is it?
That's what Not a Good Name said. It'd be
Wait,
funny.
he's the one who thought lyrics looked cute, thought he was 14, and wanted to rail him?
What? Wait, what?
I'm sorry.
What?
What?
What do we? What?
Does anybody have a clip of this? What?
Guys,
Yo, what's up, Sylphat?
what are we talking about?
What are we doing? What's going on?
Tucker Carlson, what is going on here?
That is horrible.
Beforehand,
Check
I
content
used to be attracted
suggestions?
women
Okay.
of my age. No,
Okay,
what?
we'll do that. We'll do that, and then we're gonna bring. I'll call Remnant. And abandon my deserving, beautiful, valiant co-host.
fucking guy.
I know, it's really disgusting, isn't it? Let's see. How long is this? Okay, this is 44 minutes long. Can I just see a clip of him saying it? Can I just see a clip of him saying it, please? I just want a clip of him saying it. If I look up Alec Gunter, Liam Donovan, does it come up? Lyrics versus Alec Gunter. Okay, great. Thank you. Let me see.
How old is this guy? He looks underage. He looks like he's like 14. Okay, you take it up the ass like when nobody's looking, and you.
What are we doing?
What the fuck?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What the fuck are we doing here?
You deny it at every point when nobody even brought it up. You're like, "What do you mean in the ass?" And they're like, "I asked you what you wanted for dinner." Okay, well, just so it's clear, I did not get in the ass. Like that's the look that you're giving off.
How's Mrs. Tip think about that one?
What? Dog, where's your husband? Dog, you're 14. Shut up. Go back to school.
Why do you keep calling him
looks like he's
14?
Some 16-year-olds look like adults. The problem with pedophilia is not finding somebody who is underage attractive. Okay?
Guys,
if you find
we
somebody
are-
who happens to be underage,
we're
who's like
in
16 or
very scary
17,
territory right
attractive, that's not a big deal. It
What?
is not a fucking
What are
big
we
deal if I go up to
talking
somebody, some
about?
chick that I think is attractive, okay? And say, hey, you know, you look great. Why
How have I never seen this?
don't I take you to
What
dinner
is-
sometime?
what the
okay?
fuck?
And then she turns around and says, hey, I'm 17. I'm here with my mom or whatever. And she's in the other store. You know, if this guy who already looks like he would fit makeup very well, makeup and a dress.
What are we doing?
I'm serious. Like he would look good with makeup and a dress. Not kidding. Maybe you should try it.
This
You know?
aged really
Now
well.
I know that you are a virgin. I get
that
that.
aged really well.
But now that you know that, maybe next time you can avoid making this dumbass comment that only a 14-year-old would make.
Why do we
Right?
keep on saying
Not only do
14?
you look like
Why
one,
are we
you
so
also think
fascinated
like
with
one.
that number?
What? But I wanted to end off this video on one good note with one final statement
Obvious
from Tipster
joke.
himself. When you got a coom, you got a coom.
I coom. What, this guy doesn't coom? Is that your problem? You got big ass blue balls, man?
What?
Go whack one off. I promise you'll feel better. Maybe do it to
yeah, if you're found ugly,
somebody
read
fucking
them.
your ass! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure
I
to hit the
didn't.
like button.
I
subscribe
didn't.
if
That
you
was
want more.
horrible. Please.
We're gonna pass on that.
I'm okay, actually. I think I never want to speak to you ever, and I don't even want to think about you
I would
anymore.
not trust you with children.
So with that clip,
And this is a post by Pope.
of course it is. With that said, let's call Remnant. Let's call Remnant. So Vic, thank you so much for coming on, buddy. I'll speak to you later, okay?
Uh-huh.
We have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah. I'm sure we do.
Okay. Okay, I'll talk to you later, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Hey,
what's up,
you hear
man?
doing swell. Bro, I was waking up from a nap and then I just was clicking on stream what's going on and then I see Alec Gunter, so that was really funny and everything. What brought up Alec Gunter?
I was just looking. I like to before I do like an interview, I just love to do a little research, just look up your name, see where you pop up and stuff like that. And I saw that this video. I don't know if it was a debate between you and Alec Gunter, but like he had you in the name, and the highlight reel of it was just him like screaming and yelling about how like you're like not a real Christian or something, and like blah blah blah. And I was just like, what the hell? Who the hell is this guy? I've never seen this guy in my life. And so then chat was telling me that he like saw lyrics and kept on comparing him to a 14-year-old that apparently he seemingly wants to have sex with. So that's very telling.
Well, honestly, I can't fault you for trying to do your due diligence by researching people you have on your stream. Honestly, I could take take notes with that one.
Okay. No, okay. Listen. I'll give you full credit. They were in your chat, okay? Like that has happened to me before too, where like I've almost had a person on And then I find out, like, somebody reaches out very last second, and it was because the person was taking so long to, like, get their Discord to me. They took around 30 minutes to do so. Somebody reaches out to me, and I just happened to check my messages, and they're like, hey, by the way, this guy's a pedophile. And I'm like, okay, and you're gone. Like, it's like, you know, but those things do happen. You know, you can't, when it comes to, like, getting somebody from the chat that you're talking about, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
True. Yeah, it's such a sticky, sad situation, especially like at first when I heard all of it, I literally found all of this stuff out like right after the streaming conversation about like the lolly stuff. Is like, shit, this was such a. I know you guys found it insufferable. I was like listening to the stream. For me, it was a pleasant, fun conversation, and then I'm finding this stuff out. It's like, ah, fuck.
I mean, so much of why it was unpleasant is because of who she is. You know, it wasn't even about the conversation itself. It's just like I've already had, you know, just seen so much about this woman that it was like, I just know that so much of this is complete hypocrisy from her. And like, you know, I don't say it to like, I don't know, maybe to give benefit of the doubt, maybe their recent conversion to Christianity is legitimate. Okay, like I'm not gonna, you know, just full on say that it wasn't, but it is awfully convenient, and does feel convenient when it comes to them kind of deepening their kind of like they speak on all of like the right wing, like kind of like traditionalist like talking points and stuff like that, and it feels a little strange and convenient, but it could very well be legitimate, you know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's my personal thoughts, and you can hate on me or call me naive because I am pretty naive. I was talking to her. I think it probably is legit, but at the same time, if you do have, you know, you grow a brand or have a YouTube channel and you build it on something that is full of degeneracy, and then you take a full 180, especially from like if you're promoting lolly or anything like that, and then you convert to Christianity, here's a little thing that kind of tips me off, and I don't know what to think about this. If I was in her position, I would feel a lot of shame for that. It's like, oh shit, the things I did and everything, like with the degeneracy of the lolly, you know, that compels me to like kind of just get offline, and maybe I shouldn't be talking about these things. You know, maybe the conversion could be legit, but it's for me, I think of I'm not Orthodox or Catholic, but I've been really inquiring about that stuff, and people love to bring up the Saint of Mary. Fuck, I can't speak properly because I just woke up. But it's like the Saint Mary of Egypt. She was a former prostitute. It's one of the worst things and everything you could have been back then. She converted, and then she's like, oh, I had such a shameful lifestyle. It was very degenerate. So I'm just going to go off into the desert, practically just be a nun, isolated, you know, a monk or anything like that, and just stay away from society while I deepen my relationship with God. If she did something like that, I'd find that very appropriate and compelling. But I don't know. I think we live in an age, you know, we live in a what would it be? A society where everybody just needs to be on the internet, and I think that's just a problem, you know.
It 100%
I say
is.
all of this coming from a good place and everything. That's
Right.
my thoughts on all of it.
No, I mean, I think I would definitely agree with that. I mean, I think that, I mean, so too, like, I mean, taking responsibility, if she views those things as mistakes in the past, like taking responsibility for those mistakes and making it clear that she no longer has those opinions, rather than what feels like attempts to hide that past away, is another big one too, where it would feel a lot more genuine if that was happening. But you know, I haven't seen that at all, unfortunately. And you know, I don't know if you kind of heard me speaking about it earlier. I didn't tell you this over DMs, but it's even worse than like the lolly stuff. I mean, these are just allegations, right? Like, I'm not one to like put, you know, I'm not Templar, okay? I'm not gonna like, you know, just assign automatic validity to just mere allegations with no proof. But there is somebody on the Kiwi Farms who was repeatedly saying that she encouraged a minor in, I can't remember what situation it was, whether it was a live stream or on Twitter or what it was, to send nudes. And the sort of compelling thing about this, which is just, strange, it's not proof, but it's just strange, is multiple different tweets in which people would talk about that allegation specifically would be magically deleted.
I have a question for Remnant. Who does he consider to be worst? Tactical Templar, Synthetic Man, Andy Pants,
Well,
Jester
I
Bell,
heard
or Ranting for Vengeance?
the whole tweet about like how she made like a post about like Lolly or something like that. And I know that, here's the thing, I knew she was married to Rev, but I would repeatedly tell people like before any of this stuff happened, like, oh, I know some of y'all in the chat like Rev. I don't watch him because I'm never going to watch a VTuber that is a guy with a female avatar. That's just too weird, and I'm never down for that. So I knew nothing about the guy or any of the stuff that with the Lolly stuff before anybody told me with that. Because like it was so bizarre. So all of this Twitter drama, just to lay it out for you, it was between a couple of people. It was with Strawberry, and then it was this person named Godfast. And we were all like kind of engaging and talking on Twitter. I even was talking with Godfast on like a Twitter space and everything. It was really fun. And I was listening to Godfast's live stream. I was even planning to talk to him a bit afterward. I thought I'd be introducing him in my live stream, but then I like look on his profile. And then I see like the term Connie, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? Golly. Just everybody, it seems like, okay, but I sent him a DM. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna be straightforward with you, man. I saw the word Connie. This whole drama thing that I'm gonna be covering from Twitter is centered around you and Strawberry, but I don't really want much to do with you if you have Connie in the thing. And then I said that after I had the whole live stream with Strawberry, and then people are like, what the hell, man? Why are you having her on when you won't have Godfast on, but they do the same stuff? And I'm like, oh no, oh no. And that was just, it was such a headache. And it was so sad because like, at least here's the thing, with the whole like stuff that happens with all the VTubers, like chibi reviews, I fucking hate what's going on recently. If you've seen online with chibi reviews and Schlep, especially with what that fucking fan did by making a drawing of him and like that, like I couldn't make any tweets that day unless it were to be like some sort of Fed posting. I was like, I just can't say anything. I just can't. I got to get off Twitter, But at least, and I thought this was my line of thought and everything. But it goes back to like why you're still on the internet. It was at least in DMs. We were talking a little bit about it afterwards. And she was like, that was in a degenerate point of my life. And then she said something about like, here's the thing. I don't know because I don't know anything about Rev. Does Rev still support the Lolly stuff? Or was that something that he did previously? Because I actually don't know about that. But she said like it was something that was degenerate for both of them. And they've both changed. And it's like that's what she said. But like, I'm just running it by you because you seem more like the Rev expert or something.
I mean, to my knowledge, that has never stopped. I haven't checked in with Rev. I mean, like, I've never spoken to Rev, but I haven't, like, checked into Rev's content in quite a while. But, like, I don't think that it's ever stopped. I mean, to me, I mean, of course, this is, like, a little bit of a, bias on my part, but, like, when, kind of as you were saying, when I see somebody who's, like, VTuber as a guy is, like, what appears to me at least to be like some kind of like demon little girl, I don't know, I just I'm automatically a little bit like aghast, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what we're working with here, but I'm not a huge fan. So somebody in chat says, I don't think that he's ever retracted his Lolly stance, and if he has, I wouldn't believe it, which is very fair because, to credit to Straub, other than that allegation that I was talking about earlier where she would delete tweets when people would mention stuff about that, she seems to have been a little bit more sparse in terms of advocating and talking about the Lolly stuff, whereas Rev was significantly more like extreme and like yes, like one of those people who, again, like Chibi, like any of those people who kind of do the grift of like the free speech advocate, where they act like or like the it's just drawings kind of thing. So
Bro, have you listened to what Big Bungie said about that?
yes, it was awesome.
Yes,
It was awesome.
I loved that. I was drawn a bit back because like I really am very much in favor of like the First Amendment and like very much on those line of thoughts. And then I thought about more. It's like, wait a second. This is really much more of like, look, let's be honest. It's much more you see this defense of the lolly stuff among the libertarian right.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Real.
It's there. It's
Yeah.
there. Bruh. And I was like, I think Big Bungie's right on this. And some people were just like angry about that earlier today. I found that hilarious.
Well,
But I just had to bring that up.
the funniest part about people getting so angry about it is I saw that one person who was like, just saw the worst take about free speech I've ever seen.
Yes.
And then
yes,
they
yes.
then they quote tweet it and they say, well, here, I'm showing more context to show that I didn't like take anything out. And then the next line that they don't show in the initial video is literally him emphasizing the fact that with the people that he's talking about, you never see them talking about political censorship or stuff like that, which is like, to me, it shows it's like, no, he's not talking about like people who are free speech advocates. He's talking about people who like make their entire personality, I am a free speech advocate, and especially in these scenarios where, they're specifically talking about like, Texas's ban of like, lolicon materials and stuff like that, where it's like, it's just, it's so funny to me. It's so funny to me.
No, that's interesting because, and I don't mean to cut you off here.
No,
It's
you're
just,
fine.
Feel free to like, how do I put it? I'm just putting my thoughts together with this one. Is it me, or I could be wrong here, but you hear a lot of the people who always talk about free speech advocacy. They're always talking about that. They're always focusing on that. And I don't know. I just noticed I never really hear them talk about, hey, I really just want to hear out the other side so we can have good discourse. And that's a key part of free speech or something like that. Because
Right.
one of my main things on my channel is I'm very much in favor of hearing other people out. Like
Which
with
is so
Strawberry,
important.
yeah, like with Strawberry, some people pointed out like, oh, she talks for quite a bit. But it's like for me, in my mind, what goes through my mind is, hey, the more somebody talks, I can understand where they're coming from. And I can take the good things from the bad things with what they say. And you should do that. And like, if you want to honestly engage with somebody and you want to come to a, like, how do I put it? You want to find the truth, And I don't really see a lot of these people who are always, like you're saying, who are advocating for the free speech and all the rest, ever trying to figure out genuinely where the other person's coming from or trying to engage intellectually with them or any of that stuff. That's like one of the main purposes of free speech. And a lot of these people are just only using it to defend Gooner material.
Yep, that's exactly right. And I mean, on that same topic, I was just covering somebody who, and like, I made a tweet about it because it's happened to me so many times at this point, kind of engaging in this chibi versus schlep discourse, where I try to have like, a discussion and argument and make some points about like, my stance on lolicon. And every single time they always find a different reason to block me, and it never makes sense. And it's always these free speech people too. And it's just like, and they're like the last one I got was like, I don't feel like talking to a blue check mark. I was like, what are we doing? What's going on? Like it's always just a different cope because they know that they're not going to be able to substantially.
Elon Musk?
Exactly. Well, and it's like they know for a fact that they're not going to be able to substantially respond to my arguments. And so they just find a reason, then they dip out. And it's so funny to me. I don't understand it. It's very, to me, it makes it clear that it's just a form of cope. Like it's whatever kind of, cope that they can come up with to better sleep at night with their degeneracy and not actually put critical thought into it. These people don't want to have conversations.
It's honestly fucking infuriating. And it's like, bro, I'm just going to be straightforward. I don't know. Let me see real quick. Okay, a couple more people have resubscribed. Whenever I talk about this subject, I lose quite a few subscribers. And that's insane to me. And it's like, how, like all these people we're talking about right now, I wonder how many of them are actually subscribed to me and are just lingering on from this. And there are quite a few of them. And like, I just, oh, how do I put it? I made that post and I was getting very close to having like 111,700. I'm like talking to family, like, I'm almost getting to the 700 mark with this. And then it's like decreased quite a bit net down. Like I lost just in the last 2 hours, 40 from making that one post where I said, I find lolly to be evil, you know, like inappropriate lolicon stuff. That's evil. If you're just, how do I put it? The lolly stuff by itself, pretty sus. Unless like it's chibi, it's just like a fun little wholesome character like Neo Arc. That's lovable. I don't have a problem with that. But then if you're like, okay, this character's, it's not just so much style or just even some sort of like, how do I put it? I used to watch like Leaflet stuff. The way it would work in my mind is it's a smaller character, but it, at least from the ones I saw, it didn't look inappropriate, except for, and it always bugged me in the back of my mind, it was the blushing. It's like, because blushing is a sign of arousal, which is sexual. And it's like, why do you do that, Leaflet? I don't really like that. But you know, I like a lot of the stuff you say, so I'm just gonna put it to the back of my mind because I want to make excuses for a person I like watching, blah blah blah. And fuck, I forget my trail of thought. This is why I'm trying. I have such a huge problem with this, bro. I'm not even looking at chat or anything like that because I can't even for my own live stream. I just, my mind just goes off so easily. But I'm literally just said here, I think that shit is flat out evil. Let me be clear. And 100 comments and 250 likes. That doesn't ever happen with my posts. I just say I find that stuff inappropriate and wrong, and then my like there are quite a few people are just pushing back and all the rest. That's insane. It's like,
and what a weird thing to push back on too. I mean, that's the craziest part about it to me. And the fact that you lost that many subs from a community post is just like, that's ridiculous. It just shows the greater problem that's within like that community, you know. It's
and the main thing I'm even going against, and I make it clear, is like, you know, a lot of you people like to make these very questionable exceptions, but you can't even get down to the main root, which is these people sexualize these characters that look underage. And then they're like, oh, what about these lean adult women, these petite women? It's like, let's just talk about the characters that are explicitly underage.
Exactly.
And you can never even make, they always go back to, it's these petite adult women, or it's wholesome, or there's nothing about it. You can never make any groundwork though with the underage characters that are drawn inappropriately. That's like that.
Well, and then they
guys have no issue with that.
Well, then they just shift over. Then they just shift over to the, well, it's fiction. It's fiction.
Of what?
Exactly. That's the whole point. It's so,
what?
It's so just like, it's so frustrating, and it's such an easy like response too, where it's just like,
yes,
what are the drawings of? What are these drawings?
Yes.
Because you just call them drawings, you just see their fiction. What are they depicting? And it's like, and the thing too is this other cope that they very popularly have, where they try to say that people equate lolicon to CSAM. I've never seen someone do that, and if they did, I would say, hey, this is really dumb, and I feel like it undermines like actual children who go through like the horrific suffering of like the creation of CSAM. So let's not do that. Let's not compare those things. But obviously, it is still inherently pedophilic. Like, you can't get around that. If you are like, you know, getting stimulated, however you'd like to put it, if you're getting your rocks off to a little girl or a little boy, or a depiction, I should say, of a little girl or little boy, regardless of its fictitious nature, that's still what it is. It's still a depiction of a child. It's still inherently pedophilic. That's it.
But didn't you know, Chad? Didn't you know whenever you play video games like GTA, do you want to go out and rob a store now? What about that, Chad?
Oh my god. No, that's the next one they do too. I mean, it just like, it's never ending. It's never ending. They always find an excuse.
It's fucking insufferable, because my video on Leaflet, I barely touch on that, and then I got so many people talking and focusing on how there's nothing wrong with it. Like, you know, I don't know what I can say, because I want to like not get your stream in trouble or anything,
No,
like
you're
with
fine.
this stuff.
Don't worry.
How do I put it? Just porn of lollies. They focus so much on that in the comments. I'm like, what? I barely mention how like that's not even the focus of the video. It's like I got so much pushback from that. It's insane, and it just I don't know. Now it's like, how do I put it? Where am I even going with this? I get distracted with everything, like
You're
with this
fine.
stuff. Golly, it's just these people like. Oh my goodness. It was hell for like a whole week because I had to deal with that shit 24/7. Then I go back online and then it's happening again with Chibi and
Yep.
Schlepp, and it's like I can't fucking escape this bullshit.
I know, dude. I know. It was literally like it's been nonstop. It was I was telling you about this earlier in DMs. It was literally from Leaflet to Otsuka Ray to now Chibi. Like it's just like there's barely been a break through all of it. Like it is just so it sucks. It really sucks. I just I almost think to myself, I try not to be like an armchair psychologist, but I almost think to myself, like kind of what you were just talking about with this, how you barely mentioned it, and immediately there was an army of them like ready to defend it at a moment's notice. It really feels like, you know, and I obviously there's a wide spectrum for all this kind of stuff, but it's like sometimes it feels like this defensive nature almost comes from like a weird sense of like guilt or something like that, where they understand that this is something that is not to be normalized, that is not normal, and that's why they defend it so hard and adamantly. And even when it is only mentioned in a passing way, they still feel the need to like come white knight for, you know, their drawings of children.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of like a lot of the stuff that was what was the name? Do you remember that whole like you know of the image? It was everywhere. I couldn't escape it. Trevor Schultz, the person we were talking about, like so you remember the video with the I was talking with Strawberry. It was about the wedding image.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what their name is and everything. Trevor something. And so many women were like defending like a promiscuous past or even a like a woman who did prostitution or OnlyFans. And so many of them were claiming to be Christian. And this was in the live stream. I wasn't able to go into detail about this. I wanted to, but I kind of like it got detracted sidetracked to having a conversation with Strawberry. I flat out was saying in the video, I really think all of this can be explained through the lens of self-interest. If you look at all these women who are defending this, they're always imagining themselves in the position of the woman with the promiscuous past, so they're defending that woman. But if you ask simply a different woman, like even a mother, like you go up to her, like if you go up to any of these women and you say, "Hey, you're going to get married to a former prostitute," they will congratulate you and they will condone that. But then if you were to ask a mother and you were the son, you go up to the mother and say, "Hey, I found this woman. I believe she changed. She's a good Christian. She was previously a prostitute, though. What do you think?" She will flat out tell you, "I want you to have nothing to do with that person because
Yeah.
it's all through the lens of self-interest, but just for different people." That's all it is. I think you can really explain everybody's behavior that way, and I find it so fascinating.
It is. And I agree with you on that. Like, yeah, no, it is very fascinating. Oh, okay. This is just something I was curious about, but like drifting course just a little bit. How did you end up becoming like a leaflet watcher? Like how did that start?
I'm so happy nobody's asked me that, and I've been wanting to explain this. I'm so happy you asked that. So, bruh, I was making videos before, like, I don't know, a year or two. I've been making videos for like 3 years, and I never popped off for like 3 years until like one random video. No, actually, a couple random videos. Let me see. I gotta look at my videos for the timeline of this. So I was making videos back in the day, and some of the first videos to really pop off was me going into the detail and the science of why people are gay, why people are trans. And I especially found that interesting because everybody who covered that information was very left wing and were to talk about that in detail. Shit, when something's distracting me, I gotta close my eyes. But sorry. But I was going into that detail because I found a lot of stuff fascinating with it. And many people were talking about it. One of those people was Alec Gunter. He watched the video and he was like, I'm just a scientific homophobe and all the rest. Why do you care why people are gay? You're just a homophobe who wants to eradicate gay people. Like, actually, what he said. But so I would get like a lot of pushback from so many different people. And then finally, I was making a video. I made a video on like why beautiful women are crazy, according to psychology. And the first person to finally be kind, give me any sort of support, and I enjoyed watching the reaction, was Smugalena, a VTuber. I was adamantly against VTubers at the time. I was like, these people are fucking weird. Who watches these people? What's wrong with you? And then I was like, oh, wait, somebody reacted and they're supporting, and it's a woman? Okay, I'm going to check this out. And I started to like the content. And that was what got me into giving these VTubers a chance, because the VTubers were the first people to ever be kind to me, to support my content. And I was like, bruh, I think maybe the VTubers are like this ally of the right and everything. That's like what I was even saying before. The right's greatest ally is a meme, you know, a play on the words like Israel's our greatest ally. The VTubers are our greatest ally. Funny little play on words with that. And that's how I really gave them a chance and became open to it, because I also found them funny, many of them. Leaflet, I found Leaflet's content kind of sometimes insightful and funny, especially if you listen to her discussions. I know, like all of you say that she's a grifter with all of that stuff. I really understand where you're coming from now, but I still do genuinely believe, like, if you listen to her conversations, I think that they're interesting and like there's something going on there. But after I really started liking the VTubers from that, but I was never engaging with the community. That was the thing. And then I would see people be adamantly against the VTubers, and I thought, well, maybe you're being just a bit prudish with all of this stuff. I can understand how some of them are inappropriate, but I was really liking the VTubers because like they were very kind to me. I'm giving them much more of a chance with all of this stuff, and I had no idea about any of the sort of weird degeneracy that just plagues so many of them. And because of that, I've actually got quite a bit of a audience that likes VTubers now. If I look in my analytics and I see the channels that are most watched, my audience watches aside from me, the first 3 ones are VTubers. And now it's like I'm in a little bit of a sticky situation because of that, but I'm not going away from my stances with this. I'm just being consistent and with what I think. Like, okay, I liked this group, I liked this niche. Now I found out that it's filled with degenerates, though. Right. And I think the situation is, I was talking to Taxpress about this last night. I think the situation is, if you become a VTuber, even if you're against the lolly stuff, you're kind of forced into a position where you can never speak out against it now, because so much of the niche is just tied to lolly. Like, how many VTubers out there are actually going to be against the lolly and not get hell? Like, and it's such a weird thing that I only got introduced and found all this stuff out a month ago when I made the leaflet video. I was completely oblivious to all of this right before then.
Right. Did you, out of curiosity, did you ever end up, well, okay, wait, first let me address one of your points that I find completely correct, which is the fact that, like, you as a VTuber, I completely agree, like, especially in that space, you are completely...
You're a VTuber?
No. I'm saying, like, if someone's a VTuber, like...
Oh, I see. I was like,
yeah,
what?
sorry, I phrased that terribly. But, like...
It's like, wait a minute, who are you?
Yeah, I know, this isn't even really me. No. But, if someone's a VTuber, they are completely audience captured in that way. Like... Yes. Where you will get punished for giving a genuine take when it comes to the lolly stuff. Like, and it is just... It's, again, it's like, it's very fascinating. It almost feels like this, like, weird mass psychosis that you have to conform to. And if you don't, they're going to punish you. Um,
Oh, I just lost 5 more subscribers from that sentence. Wow, they're bleeding out.
dude, hey, you know what?
I
You know
just
what?
said lollies are bad. I just said lollies are bad, and now I'm losing subscribers. Guys, this is a bad look for the right.
Here's what I say.
Oh no, guys.
Here's what I say, Remnant. I say that you're losing dead weight, dude. Okay, that's what I say. Like, you're losing dead weight. You're losing people that you don't want anyway. So you'll be fine.
I don't want these. Like, I don't. Here's the thing, and here's the issue I have. I've always thought to myself, I don't want to be that person, like, because I found it always cringe whenever there are these people online who said, if you're right wing or if you're left wing or if you support or like one person, be gone. I don't want you. I don't need you. I was like, that's so cringe. That's so cringe, bro. But like, I'm actually having a come to Jesus moment. That's like the first time I actually feel like I want to say that. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm dragging this on a bit too much because that's what a lot of them like to say. But I also want to clarify this because I understand from, how do I put it? If I'm not able to have this conversation with people and talk about this in detail, it leaves so much room for, how do I put it? You can read into it and you can get some really bad or wrong ideas or think, what is this guy doing? He's flip-flopping about. And what's up with this? Is he a grifter? And it's like, that's totally logical. And I want to explain where I'm coming from and like how all of this has happened and like, hey, share my story with this. And I value you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And oh God, see, you've infected me. I just lost my train of thought. I had something totally in the chamber there. And wow. Okay. This is, wow. It's infectious.
You gotta write notes down on everything.
I know. I'm like, it's funny. I have my notes, but then
This is also why I asked to be on your stream because, bruh, I'm gonna be honest. Streaming is like, it gets a little stressful, and it's like, hey man, could you drive for me? Can I just be at the side?
Hell yeah, dude.
Seat and everything.
I'm great with it. It's no problem. Yeah, and I mean, oh. Okay, this is what I was gonna say. I found it. I found the thought. Okay, so
the thought.
What you were just saying, like, it really reminds me of like kind of how there's like room for like margin of like implications and stuff like that. It just reminds me of kind of what you and I were talking about in DMs, where like I'm the exact same way, where I'm very, like I want to make sure that my position is like thoroughly known, and I want to make sure that there isn't room for these potential like questions or like, I like it when there's closure for people. I like giving people closure with my positions. And so like I completely understand that for sure. Okay. So okay, here's something I'm curious about. Did you ever end up looking at do you know Gibbs? The Twitter
I think I've
user?
heard of it, but I don't really know.
Okay.
Let me look it up. Gibbs, let me see.
Yeah, he's a Kiwi farmer. Also, thank you so much for passing the dono goal, guys. Really appreciate it.
Wait, like, what's this full thing? Like, Gibbs?
Let me see if I can find it. I know that we follow each other. The reason I ask is because Gibbs made a really good thread about Leaflet and, like, her old kind of behavior. So one of the, like...
Oh, wait, Gibbs, the guy with the Chinese avatar?
Yeah, the guy with the Chinese avatar, yeah. Yeah. So
he's very memorable with that profile picture, yeah.
Exactly. I love Gibbs. He's great. But so Gibbs like has this one thread.
He might be in the live stream right now because he liked the post I made the announcement of, like, I'm gonna be on the live stream here.
Oh hell yeah.
Hello Gibbs.
I love Gibbs.
Let me see. Yeah, I do remember that one. I do remember. So it was. I remember the thread and everything because after I made that video of Leaflet, Dickers was like, I don't know if this guy knows who he's talking about with Leaflet, and then he sent me the whole thread going over the different stuff with the Leaflet, which was like very weird. How do I put it? I think he sent me. Dickers sent me it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to it. I'm trying to find it. It's a bit old. Let me get to it. Yeah, because like, it's like you know, everybody can be clipped out of context, but then it's like, what the fuck is the context of this? Like, what's the please explain to me the context of these things, you know? Because oh man, it's just one of those lazy replies. I quote tweeted him. I was like, hey, guys, y'all who really like Leaflet, what's going on with this? Let me see. Explain to me the context if it's taken out of context. I forget. Look, I don't have it quoted. I thought I had it quoted. It's so strange. What? I don't know. I made a post about it. I was asking basically that.
Right.
But yeah. What about Gibbs again?
So yeah, I mean, it's just I was just curious if you had seen that thread where yeah, the one that you're referencing, where you know he talks about like some of this kind of weird like, I guess role play esque content.
Oh yeah,
where it's like, I've been a very bad girl and like all that stuff. Like
I was completely oblivious to all of that stuff because the only thing. So here's also an interesting thing. I noticed that her and Mentis Wave is someone like my community very much knows. They get along very well together. They like each other a lot, like as in they support each other. And that's one of the ways I also did find her stuff because she was constantly reacting to Mentis Wave's content. And he's a very interesting right-wing guy. And where was I going with this? Fuck, I need to go back to where it was. I keep swapping on the screens and then I lose my trail of thought.
You're fine.
She liked Mentis Wave stuff. Fuck, I forget. Golly, I hate myself sometimes. But, shit. I cannot remember where I was going with that. Golly.
You're okay.
I don't know why. I just cannot function sometimes.
No, you're
I
fine.
cannot be a live streamer with this. I can't keep on track. I gotta have a ADHD Subway Surfer video explanation to constantly keep my attention, to keep me on track. That's what I need. Yeah.
No, you're totally fine, dude. No, yeah, I mean, I was just curious if you'd seen that, and then like we also, my chatters and I, we kind of like started really looking into it, and we found out that do you know
remember? Let me write it down while you talk.
Yeah, you're fine. Do you know who Lily Pichu is?
No, I don't.
Okay, so Lily Pichu is like a really big Twitch streamer, like just big Twitch streamer, and she and Leaflet used to be pals, and they made a very, very, very strange series together that was like very much like it was like comedic or whatever, but it was very much like lolicon adjacent stuff, and like it was these weird like skits where, you know, they'd be like these two kind of like, you know, little girls with like very high-pitched voices and, you know, put in various situations that were, you know, sometimes pretty sexual, like talking about rape and stuff like that.
Oh, golly.
It was one of those things where like when I saw that thread that Gibbs made and we found that series, I think all of us were just like aghast because it was already bad enough with the server stuff, but then finding out even more and just being like, oh wow, so it's been like this for a while. Okay, this is insane. It was very it was shocking. It was shocking for sure.
Let me write this one thing down. Okay, there we go. Now I got back on track. I wrote it down so it doesn't escape my mind. So I literally only found out from her stuff on YouTube. So if you type in Leaflet, it's all political reaction content,
course,
or sometimes like maybe memes. That's the only thing I knew about her because I really, especially at the time, only until recently have I gotten into watching any sort of live streaming, especially like on Twitch. I don't even watch Twitch live streaming, like, and she doesn't.
Yeah, me neither.
Do any sort of like live streams on YouTube. But that's how I found her content. That's the only bit I knew about her. So when I saw this, I was like, what is the context behind this? Maybe she changed her content, because I know she talked about how she changed her content over time. But it's like, what's the explanation behind that? And I don't really think many people gave an explanation other than she claims that she was a degenerate before, but then changed. But that's odd because she also claims that she's been really raised Christian her whole life. And it's like, how does that work? Are you saying that you just I don't get that. How can you claim that you're raised Christian your whole life, but then golly, my cat's knocking on the door. But you're doing this degenerate stuff. And I hope that she would call that stuff degenerate that she did and say she has a change of heart. But then it's like, if you're approaching this from a Christian standpoint, you would have to admit that God or the Bible or Christianity didn't really have much of an impact at certain points in your life when you were doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But that stuff, the Gibbs one, things like that, it wasn't Gibbs because I didn't know about the Gibbs stuff. Wait, no, I did know about the, actually, remember, I didn't see the full thing. I do remember seeing one part of the Gibbs stuff. I don't know why. I didn't know, it's strange. I swear, I didn't know about all of it until after I made the video, but I knew about snippets. Like one clip where she said that she watched like porn or had some sort of porn folder. I knew about that one and everything. And the thing is, that's also interesting thing I wanted to make the video for, because a lot of my own audience watches Leaflet, and I would talk to people about this even in private. I'd be like, hey, look at what I found with the Leaflet stuff, because Harmful Opinions made that video. And okay, one sec, my stupid cat. Hi. I let my cat in because she knocks on the door and won't stop until you let her in.
I know how it can be. I know how it can be.
Yeah. But but I made that video and everything about Leaflet because for me, I saw that every single person online was like, you're only covering this Leaflet situation because you hate Leaflet and you're just a hater and you also love his song. I noticed that all the time. I had evidence though, and I thought, I'm immune to this propaganda, these lies that they throw at people. I have evidence that this isn't just a problem people are overblowing, because I watched Leaflet stuff. I have receipts in my videos that I flat out say I like watching Leaflet stuff. I talk to people about this. My own community also needs to see this because we all watch Leaflet stuff. This is my responsibility to talk about this stuff so we can break through this cycle of propaganda that everybody's just going after Leaflet because they hate her. And then it didn't make a bloody fucking difference how you talk about it, how you cover it, or any of that stuff. I was also super critical of you commentators before. I was like, why do you guys have to insult? That takes away from your message. Less people are going to be convinced. The truth is, it doesn't fucking matter. Have a fun time if you want to. Go ahead. That's my mentality now. But I really tried to be so respectful. And I had evidence. She likes my stuff. I liked her stuff. And like, I was even working on getting a collab with her in the future. And that's why I'm making this video. It's because you guys need to see this. You can't just lie about me like you've lied about everybody else. It didn't matter. It didn't matter at all.
Nope. And that's the unfortunate reality, is like they don't care. You can give them everything. You can give them everything. You can have it labeled, filed in alphabetical order. They don't care. Because it's a tribe mentality so much more than it is about principles. That's the issue.
Yes. Oh, yes. And it's so ironic given people like, and this fucking annoys me. Like, I swear, like, she always talks about this, and Leaflet always says this repeatedly. The left is, and even from me, like, I don't know where you are politically and all that stuff. I've heard like you disagree with me. Totally chill and everything. I think though, it's very interesting. I want to make a video about this in the future. I think that people who are much more like very leftist, very left-wing, have this mentality of it's fine to break the principles, be racist or be hateful or be sexist, all of the rest, everything that they condemn, as long as it happens to the right people. I would say Hassan's a great example of that. The problem is these same people who constantly bring up about how the left has no principles, and that's what distinguishes us on the right from the left. They are the group that, like, when your principles are tested, you literally are the exact same. You have no principles, and you will defend these people just because you're on their side. One sec. Now she wants out.
That's how it goes, dude.
There she goes. Yeah, she wants to come in. She realizes how boring it is and why the door's closed, and now she wants out.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what really annoys me. It's something I never got to get a chance to making the video in, and I would if I hadn't promised I would stop making content about Leaflet and talking about all of this.
Yeah.
But like, it's a fucking disease.
It is.
Uh, it's all just a LARP. You know, I don't have to say anything else. It's all just
Nope.
a LARP. That's all you need to know. I gotta
Exactly.
stop, just over talking with this. That's it. Very simple.
But you're exactly right. And to clarify my own political positions, I am somebody who's just like, I try as much as I can to be as politically neutral as possible. I'm just like, I feel like I'm sort of like, I wouldn't say apolitical. Well, I would say apolitical, just more because of the fact that like I want to evaluate things as neutrally as possible and avoid exactly what you're talking about. This kind of like hypocrisy, this tribalistic mentality that just kind of destroys learning and destroys conversations and destroys principles. And, so it's like one of those things where it's like, I individualistically, like some things on the left, I individualistically like some things on the right. It's more just like the person I'm talking to and kind of the principle that we're talking about more so than whether it's left or right. You know what I mean? And I wish that I wish that like, you very much strike me as somebody who is that way too, not necessarily in terms of like being, politically neutral, but just in the fact that like you care about things because of the way that they are principally. And that's such a rare quality, unfortunately, when it comes to political content, I have found. And that's why it was like, that's why whenever you have a new video, I always watch it on my stream because I'm like,
oh, that's cool.
Because I'm like, and I always preface it with this. I'm like, listen, I may disagree with him about certain things. I don't even know what those things are, but I may. But I know that he is coming from his position with a thoughtful and principled outlook that he truly believes in. And I like respect that so much more than 95% of these people who are literally just operating off of groupthink, who are literally just doing it from the most bad faith outlook possible and will just do anything they can to like smear their enemies. But then when they find those exact same issues within their own parties, will just ignore them,
I appreciate, bro. I genuinely appreciate that so much because here's the thing. This might sound bad out of context right now, but I personally wanted to be someone who's like more the destiny for the right, because here's the thing. Hear me out first all the way.
No, I know what you mean. Don't worry.
Destiny back in the day when he was like, before he went fucking insane, I would love watching his videos as a person who's really right wing, because when I was younger, I'd watch so many videos like of SJW owned compilation and all the rest. That's all I watched when I was younger and as a kid. I loved that content. And because of that, it painted a false image of people in my mind on the left, which is they're all just delusional and stupid. How could you even be left wing and all the rest? How do they get to that? And then I listened to Destiny's stuff and him debate people on the right and on the left. And I was like, shit, he actually has a point that I don't know how to address, and it sounds kind of valid. Like, I disagree with what he's saying, but I want to hear him out and really understand why he's wrong, Yeah. And it's like, I disagree with him. I don't really, I don't agree with any of the things he says. But at the time, I really liked Destiny because he could have kept me grounded in that not everybody I disagree with is insane. And I can hear him out for like what he says. Hopefully, like, he's not going to be biased and all the rest. Didn't age well.
Nope.
But it didn't.
But I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
because I mean, like, and so many. I wasn't personally a Destiny fan, but like so many people that I watched a lot of were, and they had that exact same opinion about him. And from what I did see, it was exactly that, what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and look, it's like, if I watched Destiny back then, I would think to myself, he could be wrong. He could be totally incorrect, but I at least believe that's what he believes is true, and that's how he got to the position. I want people to have that same idea of me. Hey, Remnant could be just factually incorrect here. He could be evaluating the situation wrong. I could even view him as stupid, but I'm not going to view him as somebody who's just saying these things because he wants to support the people on the right and on his own side or his own ideas, any of that stuff. I can have every other view of him that's negative, except for that one which is vital. Now, Destiny, though, whenever I watch him, I think, okay, is this true? And also, is Destiny himself lying? Does he even believe this is true? Because that's what I got to go through whenever I watch this stuff now, and that's a pain in the ass.
It sucks.
That's the problem.
It sucks that good faith approach, that just kind of authenticity is something that is so rare and in such an important space. You know, that's what really sucks.
So sad.
And but the good part about that is, you know, when people see a channel like you, like, and you know, I can't even think of another example off the top of my head, but like, you know, when people see like somebody like you, you know, it's a breath of fresh air, because it's like, you know, people are able to sense that, where it's like, this guy's coming at this from a sense of authenticity. And like, that is to be admired in a space that is just full of bad faith and two-facedness, and just it's miserable. It's miserable.
Yeah.
We need more. We need more good faith.
I think the thing is, everybody has this idea that being bad faith, and like it's even reflected if you talk to people, they always say, hey, if you want to get big on debating or on YouTube, what do they say? Be charismatic and have that narcissism to you. And everybody believes that now. And because of that, it's destroyed good faith discussion. It's destroyed this mentality of, you know, how do I put it? This sense of, I think I said good faith, but like there's something more to it. I think we need to really bring that back. Like, just, how do I put it? Everybody is focused so much more on winning rather than seeing yourself. Like, I viewed Destiny back then as a tool. He is a tool that I could use to keep myself mentally level-headed when it comes to my view of people on the left. I need to view myself as a tool that maybe I could be that way for some people. I don't know how many, but we can be that way. Nobody has that outlook anymore. And that's the problem. And everybody just says, if you have that bit of narcissism and you have that mentality of the ends justify the means for your own side, then things are going to work out. They all believe that now, and it's so sad.
Well, and on top of that, Remnant, I think that there's such an issue with bread and circus too, where the entertainment is prioritized over the information and the conversation.
Well, you could be fun. You could be funny. Without being like a narcissistic asshole who's a liar.
But people don't understand that somehow. It's like, and people don't even really understand good faith and bad faith either. Those terms have been destroyed. Like I am, you know, I was a philosophy major in college, and you know, one of my favorite books that I still have to this day, because it's just, you know, it's an important one, is The Anti-Semite and the Jew by Jean-Paul Sartre. And like, that's where this modern conception of good faith and bad faith come from, is that book. And the way that it has been astroturfed as a term to essentially just mean you're being bad faith because you disagree with me and I don't like what you're saying. That's like what that means half the time now. And it's so, it's just so annoying. Like, everything's been astroturfed. Everything doesn't mean what it used to. It's all just become like a game of just, you know, shooting as many holes into your opponent as you can, rather than kind of standing on business and defending your own principles.
I actually think I'd have to disagree a little bit with that, because here's the interesting thing. I genuinely do believe that people, when they say bad faith or good faith, a lot of these people, which like they're totally misrepresenting and not using the term correctly, I think they are in their own minds from their own perspective, because people have this mentality of, oh, you're saying something that is so far out there, something that I don't agree with, that there's no possible way you could unironically believe that is true, your position. Therefore, you are lying. Therefore,
that's actually
that
a
is
great
bad
point.
faith.
That's actually a really great point.
I think that's what's happening so much today.
Yeah, I mean, people are just so stuck in their holes that they're unable. Like, again, I'm a philosophy nerd, so you'll hear me do it every once in a while. But like, I think back to something like the Tao Te Ching. Like, there's this really awesome parable from there where it talks about the frog in the well, and the frog's in the well, and he's looking at the tiny little pinpoint that is the sky, and as he goes higher and higher, because his like frog friend encourages him to get out of the well and see the world, the sky gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's a very scary thing because all he's used to is just seeing this tiny little pinpoint. But once he gets out, he sees that there is an entire sky, there's an entire world out there that he has been completely just unaware of. And that's how I think of that, where it's just like, these people are stuck in these wells and they're only seeing the tiniest pinpoint of perspective, to a point where they can objectify it and think of it as, they can very easily make it black and white. But, there's so much more to see and to understand and to, like try to understand with other people, that they're just missing. It's just not even, it's like they're not even capable of seeing it.
No, I agree with that. How do I put it? Shoot, I forget. Fuck. I forgot my trail of thought with that too. No, I totally agree. I'm trying to like figure out what can I go off of that or add to it. And it's like, I mean, it's just a good thought. No, I agree with you. I don't have much else to add with that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You're fine, man. You're fine. Okay, so I have like a couple more questions, and then we can get into some of the stuff that the chat's been asking. I was originally going to start with this, but we just started shooting it off, and we had some good chemistry, so I went with it. But
yeah,
how did you get started? Like, what inspired you to start making videos?
Russ, so the first thing was I was really getting into psychology, and I wanted to understand people, and I did the very effective method of going into the pseudo scientific MBTI tests. That was my thing. The personality test. Oh, I understood people so well and so deeply from that, until I found out it was just a bunch of bullshit. And I was like constantly talking to people about the MBTI stuff, and I was like, this is bullshit. You realize, right? This is bullshit. And I kept on repeating myself over and over. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make a video, and I'm gonna link you the video now so you guys can watch it and understand. And that's where it really all came from, which was I had beef with MBTI, but the videos were so bad that I just removed them. It's like, I don't want those up there. They were so horrendous. I didn't even use editing software. I did animation software for something that you could have done it all so easily through editing software. My first video, 10 minutes long, was the worst video ever. It took me a whole month to do. And then my next video, wait, no, it might have been taking me 2 months. I don't know. One of the videos 2 months, and then the next video a month. That was like my first 2 videos, all about just MBTI and debunking bad points people had. But that was the main thing. And then it took an odd turn, which was I got really into, because here's my thing. I'm very much a fan of, hey, how can you quickly evaluate a person and understand who they are, where they're coming from, with as little information as humanly possible? And that's something I was so fixated on. And I would go into different videos on, like, I would personally, just in my own time, like, watch, hey, why are people more masculine or feminine or assertive or dominant? And what cues can I look at, or things can I see to understand or view, like, see if they are those things? And I was looking at videos like by Andrew Huberman, really good source of information as well. PhD, he conducts his own studies. He's a neuroscientist. And then I found out information about prenatal testosterone. I went into a whole rabbit hole with that. And I found, like, that's how I got into why people are gay or trans, different things like that. And it all went down towards this rabbit hole of, like, hey, what does the music even that you listen to say about you personality wise? What are, like, little bits, like, if I saw you, you walked up, what are you wearing, how you present yourself, what does that say about you? and that was the niche, the different stuff I was going down at the time. Okay, what about a person who says they're furry? What information can we get from that? You know,
Yeah.
that was the whole niche I was going down. And then it got to an interesting point, and I took down the video, but it was like a video on like why people are into feet. Here's the thing. It looks bad because I realized that I don't want that video to actually be up because people could just say, look at him, he's a freak for having this stuff. And
Right.
because lies and misinformation just spread faster than truth and the ability to debunk it. I was actually fixated on that topic because I was one time listening to Joe Rogan and he said that he was into feet. And I knew from a book I read called A Billion Wicked Thoughts what that meant, which was he's very submissive and likes to be
Interesting.
dominated. And that's what it
Interesting.
actually means statistically. And I was like, I felt like I was the only person who figured that out and heard that when he said it, and nobody else mentioned that or talked about it or knew about those things. I was like, I need to explain what this means to these people. They don't understand. Like, it's things like that. I want it to be much more of, I could hear something small, obscure that would just confuse people. But to me, it says something about you.
Yeah.
And I would go down that odd little niche. And then I kind of just diverged more into politics. And now I'm just interested in like why people believe the things that they do or do the things that they do.
That's really cool. Hell yeah. Okay. That's really cool. Okay. Okay. Here's my last question, then we'll get in chat.
Sure.
Who are some YouTubers in your space that you enjoy the most? Like either watching or like, you know, collaborating with, any of that kind of stuff.
Right now, it would have to be Rhetorically Defective. He's one of the people I really like listening to and like working with and collaborating with. He's really funny. He's I struggle a little bit with him when it comes to the ends justifying the means because he is a bit more of that. And it's like, I don't know. I hope maybe I could reach him with that and all that stuff if he's listening to this, you know. But he's fun. He's a really hilarious guy. Who else? Let me look at my subscriptions now because it's hard to think of these things at the top of my
On the
head while
fly.
we're live
Yeah,
streaming.
no, I get it. I get it.
Let me see. Joe Bart. I love listening to Joe Bart Gaming. Joe Bart, just reaction content. I love that stuff. Big Bungie. I've watched all of his videos. I haven't seen all of the live streams.
God, I
but
love Big
apparently
Bungie.
he's really fun. He's unhinged. I really like Andrew Wilson. He's also really good. Now that's a hot take and everything, but he's really good. I like his stuff.
Is he?
And
Is that the guy who's one of the hosts of the Whatever podcast?
no, that's an interesting thing. So a lot of people think that, but he's just been invited on by Brian a lot. Brian
Okay.
owns the podcast, the Whatever podcast.
Mhm.
I don't really watch the Whatever podcast because, like, let's be honest, it gets pretty repetitive.
Yeah.
I don't blame Brian for doing it because if you have a thing that works for you and you're making the money you are right now, why change the method? You can't fault Brian for that. But I can't consume that content because it's all the same.
Yeah.
But I like the debates he hosts from like actual people, just not random people. Sometimes he'll have like Jim Bob on, made by Jim Bob, and he'll be debating like Not So Erudite or Destiny. He hosts some really good debates with that. But I also like Made by Jim Bob. He's really good. I've been listening to a little bit of Jay Dyer, but like I value him for he is pretty knowledgeable, I believe. I don't know. I just don't like how he how do I put it? I'm not going to judge him too much for it because he is in a niche that is everybody attacks each other and goes at each other's throats in the debate niche. So
Mhm.
it
True.
probably changes you. He
cutthroat.
probably wasn't. Yeah, it's cutthroat. And maybe he wasn't always like that, but I very much enjoy conversations where people can they don't insult each other or personally go after each other. Jay Dyer, his thing is more, it's better to be a bit cocky, even in a joking way at times, and sometimes a real way, where he views himself as a lot better than the people he's arguing with or debating with, and he's a bit more condescending towards those people. He's
Yeah.
knowledgeable, but I don't like that as much. It's a little sad. It's a little bit of a love-hate relationship with that. I used to watch a bit more of Smuggler's content, not as much anymore because I'm not feeling friendly towards the VTubers.
I can't blame you. I really can't.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And who else? I'm seeing, but a lot of these people I'm subscribed to and I just don't watch anymore. But as for like commentators, those are the main people. I used to like a lot of, what's his name? Turkey Tom. You know, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
But I haven't been really into drama content as much, except for Dickers. I've been watching and tuning into his stuff. He got me back into the slop drama. Been getting back into it because of him. Yeah,
Dickers is good at that.
I'm getting involved in it. Yeah, he's good with that. The drama continues, but those were the main people. Yeah.
Cool, man. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do chat questions now. So, Racer C45 says, and I'm just gonna tell you ahead of time, I don't know if you're gonna know most of these names, and if you don't, it's okay. I have a question for Remnant. Who does he consider to be the worst between Tactical Templar, Synthetic Man, Andy Pants, Jester Bell, or Ranting for Vengeance?
I'm gonna be honest. I only know two. Wait, could you repeat that again? So Tactical Templar.
I'm gonna be honest. I only
Man.
know of most of these people, but Tactical Templar, Synthetic Man, Andy Pants, Jester Bell, or Ranting for Vengeance.
I've heard of Andy Pants. I don't know genuinely anything about him.
I don't either.
I know there was like an Axeman Andy Pants drama. That's literally it.
Yep.
But Tactical Templar, I know a bit more of his stuff because, you know, talked to him. Synthetic Man, I don't really know as much for him because, like, I mean, I haven't watched his stuff. Bruh, like, he watched one of my videos before and everybody was like, they kept calling me a Jew and they kept on saying that I was a Mossad Fed. And that's why, like, my channel just came out of nowhere. They were like, yeah, I see this guy getting recommended to me, and I never knew about him. He's probably working for the feds.
You're an
He's
industry plant.
That's
crazy.
Industry plant. And I was arguing with them in the comments. I was like, I'll have you know, you know. But, and then I messaged him about it. I forgot, like, there was some sort of, so he reacted to one of my videos, and I was like, I forgot what I even messaged him about. But he was very kind afterwards. I think I was clarifying some of the stuff I was saying. Yeah, I was thinking he was very much against the idea of discussion, especially back then. And this was like a year ago. And I was clear, like, I don't know. They were always like saying you're optics cucking or something like that. And I don't know. There was a little bit of stuff with that. He was kind to me in an email and everything, so I don't really have anything against him. If you're kind to me and I don't really know much about your content, I can't really hate you. Like, I just can't because I haven't seen enough of your content. Maybe if I watched more of his content, I would hate him. Tactical Templar, I don't hate him, and I kind of always feel bad talking about him. Like, I want to make a video sometime talking about people like Tactical Templar, but it'll be exclusive for Patreon because I don't want to shit on these people because, like, let's be honest. Look, I know a lot of y'all dislike Tactical Templar. It's hard for me to get on that boat, though, because he's like, I'm not saying this as an insult, but he's like actually retarded. It's like, can you really hate a person for, you know, saying or doing a lot of those things when they're genuinely like really retarded?
I mean, I can't disagree with you, to be completely honest.
And I've seen like a lot of this thread stuff. I've been introduced to like the whole different world of lolcows and different stuff like that because of just talking to Tactical Templar. But like,
he'll do that too.
I don't know. It's like, I don't like the lolly stuff where I'm pretty sure he defends lolly stuff or something like that. It's really bad.
He is so back and forth on it. Very recently, he was like, "Oh, I hate that stuff," but then he literally, like, I did this. I made this tweet and it caused him to have like a breakdown and make like a 20-minute video over a tweet where I have a compilation, and he doesn't play a single second of the compilation, by the way. And it's this compilation of various VTubers like thanking him for donations that he's given, and like a good half of them are like lolly VTubers. And so, you know,
Oh.
and I just point that out and I'm like, hey, this is funny. Like, I'm pretty tongue in cheek with it. I'm a little bit like, you know, I'm poking the bear very obviously. And he like freaked out about it and made a 20-minute video. And then in that same vein, like he is, you know, he has like his like top 5 like favorite VTubers. Half of them were, you know, like essentially seemed like little girls. Like it's stuff like that where it's like, you know, he's had this past, but then when confronted about it, like he made a video about chibi reviews that we watched the other day where it was like, you know, he was talking about the Big Bungie thing and saying that Big Bungie's a retard for saying the free speech thing, but then, you know, and being like, well, I hate like what Chibi's into with like the lolly stuff, and it's like, dude, you gotta make up your mind, brother. Like I don't know
I don't know how like it's. Look, I understand that. I supported and liked a lot of VTubers to a point, but like he's like I've seen some of the stuff, the compilations. These people are very like flat out extremely degenerate.
Yes.
Like
yes.
and I don't know how you can really support them or like them as like a Christian. Like it reminds me of one time. So like Smugalena, she's pretty inappropriate with her avatar. But for me, you guys won't believe me, and I'm perfectly fine with that because it does sound like a lie, but it's true. I literally pop her on the side, and I'm not looking even at the screen as much, and I just find her takes really funny and enjoyable. That's what I would listen to. Other people, though, like there was this one VTuber, I swear, it was when I first gained the attention of the VTubers. It was Scrooge-chan or something like that. This cat VTuber thing. And she reacted to one of my videos. She liked it. I was like, oh, I'll check out more of her content. And this, like, I don't know how he doesn't have a interaction or an experience like I did with these VTubers. But it's like, she was reacting to the political content. I look at other content, and then she's like, here, it was a clip of her literally, like, doing IRL streaming of her baking. You can't see her face. You can literally see her whole body aside from that. And it was just a clip of her twerking while standing. I'm like, okay, well, that's the last video I'm ever watching of this person. And then I'm done. I don't know how he doesn't have that experience with a lot of these other VTubers. Like, look, I lied to myself with these VTubers and made excuses for myself. I'm gonna be honest. That's literally what happened with Leaflet. I saw many of the warning signals, the blushing, and then I would see like on Twitter, I would be like, oh, this is an interesting YouTuber. Oh, wait, she's doing a meet and greet thing. I wonder what happened. Like, I clicked on it. I was curious, like, what opportunities do you get when you reach her size? And I looked at it and I saw body pillows of her and the other VTuber. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What is this exactly? You know, and I lied to myself. I was like, maybe she's working with a brand or something or some sort of convention thing, and she's kind of bullied into it because I genuinely liked her content that much. And I would lie to myself that way. It was cope. It just became, with everything with Leaflet, it just became too much to the point. It's like, I can't keep just, you know, gaslighting myself with this. It's degenerate. Just be honest and stop watching it. That's where like my journey with like watching the VTuber content and stuff like that. Fuck, I don't remember how I got here.
Templar.
Yeah, he's like a Greek tragedy. It's
He
like
really is.
He really is. That's the perfect. I honestly think, not to brag, tap my own back here. I literally think that's a majestic, accurate way to describe it. He's like a Greek tragedy of this character that, you know, keeps on having these vices. He's very arrogant and provocative, and he can't really substantiate a lot of his arguments or positions well because he's like mentally retarded. And then he gets himself into these fights, and he gets these people to pick on him that just want to see him the downfall of this character. And it's just a constant Greek tragedy that keeps on, you know, building a trap and then getting himself in the trap, and then he reaps the consequences of it constantly. It's like a never-ending cycle. You want to actually help the guy, but he's too arrogant and he's not intelligent enough to listen.
Right. Yeah, because and as soon as you disagree with them, you're just like an enemy now, and it's just like
and that's the crazy thing.
It's so futile.
How he praised me as a person, not even my takes. Like I'm very much of the opinion, if you meet new people online, especially in this niche, because I was talking to Tech Express before. It's like, hey man, like literally last night we were playing Team Fortress 2 together. Have you ever been at a job before? Like I've never had this with my other jobs where you're working with your coworkers and you're wondering if the person next to you is a pedophile. Like, like how everybody I wonder now is like, are they a pedophile? Like a genuine question I'm having now, you know? And like that's something that's with this job now. And where was I going with this? I was having that with Tech Express. Fuck, where was I going with this? He praised me as a person so quickly, so much, despite not knowing anything about me. He's like, he praised me as a person. I forgot what it was. Said I'm such a virtuous, great person. And then the moment I disagree with him, he literally calls me like a demon.
Flips like a switch. It's insane.
Yes,
it's genuinely insane. Yeah.
Yes. How can you swap so quickly, so much from you're amazing to you're the worst? There's something wrong with you.
I think it goes back to the mentally retarded thing. I'm going to be real.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
and
I mean,
it's like, how much of that can you even hold against him? Like, you know, can I even be angry at him for that? I can't get myself to hate the guy or be angry at him. Do I hate Tactical Templar? I genuinely don't. It's like, it's a tragedy. That's it. It's a tragedy.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair. Okay.
Hot take. Feel free to disagree with me. I don't.
No,
mind.
I mean, I actually completely agree with it. Like, I don't hate Templar at all either. Like, I've actually had, like, you know, funnily enough, even though he hates me, I think he's like genuinely like so retarded that like when I talk to him on Discord, he like doesn't know who I am. And like isn't able to kind of connect the dots between like our Twitter interactions and like our Discord interactions. So we've actually had like somewhat pleasant conversations in Discord, like way after he's like called me like a demon and stuff like that. And so it's very, very strange. But like I've had fine, pleasant, like respectful conversations with him before. And, you know, I tried to get him to cover The Faithful Sheriff because I thought it'd be awesome, you know, just stuff like that. No. But you know, it's so strange, and I can't, you know, I don't really hate. I hate very, very few people, and like Templar is certainly not one of them. I mean, it's just
they need to be smart enough so that you can verify the malicious intent.
Exactly, like you can't even necessarily like put like a ton of malice between it because it's like you don't even really know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, people were like, do you think he's flipped on Remnant because he's playing this some sort of 4D chess game of he can tell nobody likes him and he wants to win the grift and he wants to win people's favors? Yeah, it's an ultimate grifting strategy. No, you guys are wrong. He's just kind of retarded. Don't attribute that he's like this grifter. I genuinely don't think that he's like some sort of, everybody calls him a grifter. I don't think he is. You guys look at patterns. You look at these things that don't make sense to you. Like he's swapping back and forth because that's where the money is or the popularity is, or he wants to get in good with people. You guys attribute what doesn't make sense to calculated malicious intent and, conniving behavior. No, I don't agree with that at all. You can't say he's as stupid as he is. You guys say he's stupid all the time, and then you say he's a grifter? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it requires, the grifting, it requires cognizance and awareness, and like, yeah, I just don't think that's there. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Okay, here's one by Sunday Math. Have you read...
Sunday! He's a great guy.
Have you read Matt Fradd's Corn Myth?
No. Let me Google that just so I can have it up here. Matt Fradd Corn. I feel like it's relevant to what we're talking about, though.
He said, he added the caption to it, like to make up for his lost subs. So I don't know if that had to do with what. Oh, the porn myth. The porn myth. Okay. That's he just couldn't say corn in the
and it does pop, bro. I googled it in one of his videos by Matt Fradd. It has it talks about corn and everything. That's what the video says. Corn. Yeah, it's funny. we failed successfully.
So it's saying published on March 6th, 2017. The book challenges the belief that pornography is harmless or beneficial by using scientific research rather than religious arguments. Frad, a Catholic author, argues that pornography is destructive to individuals, relationships, and societies.
I 100% agree.
And he cites over 70 studies linking it to sexual dissatisfaction, 40 studies linking it to sexual dysfunction.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're going back to the VTubers. This is why I'm so fucking pissed from this, and I feel betrayed and lied to. These people are always LARPing and talking about how they're against degeneracy, against the OF models, all the rest, and then they literally have pornographic material in their own private servers. Everybody seems to not fucking understand where I'm coming from with that. They're like, Leaflet didn't do it herself. She allowed it though. She allowed it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just flipping out here.
You're fine. You're fine. Listen, I completely understand where you're at with this. I've had the same thing with like creators that I've enjoyed in the past who just like, I learn something about them and it kind of like flips a switch in me, and then I kind of look back at their stuff and I'm like, oh my God, this has all been just a lie, and like this is, I've had this exact same process, so I don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got 3 Caesar.
I do want to say on the record.
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw what a lot of people were saying about and Nick Andros, I'm flat out, he's a great guy. I didn't like him at first. He's just been nothing but kind to me, and we've had a lot of great conversations.
I love Nick
I
Andros.
think he's absolutely right about the Nuxtaku Asmongold pipeline. As somebody who likes watching, I don't watch Asmongold stuff as much anymore because I constantly think about all of this VTuber shit with Asmongold now, but I still like Asmongold stuff from time to time, whether you agree with him or not. But how do I put it? Nuxtaku personally has been very kind to me in private, and I still think what they're saying is absolutely true about how they're all covering for each other because they have relationships with each other and they're trying to be good with each other. I think that's absolutely true. I want to go on record for saying that. And I haven't even seen the Nuxtaku video with all of this stuff, but if it's what they're saying, which is like the Leaflet stuff, well, here's the thing. Nuxtaku, my main beef with Leaflet was that she claimed to be a Christian and she was doing all that. Wait, no, there's also the fact that they had the Not Safe for Work channel, and then they weren't verifying the people were adults and everything like that in the Discord. That was the thing.
They just had to act like adults. Yeah.
I'm at the point where I don't even know the whole Nuxtaku drama details and stuff. I flat out am very inclined to believe what they're probably saying is true and well backed up, despite not even watching it. There are people, Leaflet's always like, I don't really know about the details, so I don't want to say anything bad about him. After the shit I've been through and what I know about these people, Nick Andros personally, and Harmful Opinions personally, all this stuff, I haven't seen the video, but now I'm leaning towards the idea that he's probably right about whatever he's saying there. He's probably right. That's my opinion, my mentality now.
Yeah, Remnant, that video is chock full of evidence, and it is really, really bad. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, whenever earlier today, Nick Andros sent me a whole thing going into the details about all of the drama and different details like that. There was a lot of different points. I'm going to be honest. I flat out told him before, and I'll say it here. I read through all of the details about the stuff he sent me 3 times. It's kind of hard to even follow along with all the details and the timelines and everything, what I even just read. But he literally has citations for all of that stuff. Yeah, it's insane.
Yep. He's so thorough. I love Nick Andros. Nick Andros and I are buddies.
Nick Andros is great.
Okay, so we've got 3 Caesar 3. I'm assuming that's what the Roman numerals are. Who just gave 25 to support the stream. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Epic.
Sunday Math for 2 said, you have a cat.
I do.
There you go. What's your cat's name?
I genuinely don't even want to say because I'm a little paranoid with that stuff.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
But she's a beautiful cat. Lovely cat. The sweetest of cats. She actually one time jumped on my lap while I was streaming, and I didn't even pick her up or anything. She just jumped on. Beautiful, lovely cat. One of the best cats out there. I don't know why I did a Trump impression there. But
It felt necessary. It felt
yeah,
necessary.
true. I was praising my cat. I gotta be
Exactly.
Donald Trump when I praise anything.
Exactly. Jasper Lane for $2 just says, "Please, for the love of God, don't be Destiny." Pink Circle.
Funny enough, we both have video game names.
True. Damn. Uh-oh. Pink Circle for 2 says, "This has been a very good call on both ends." I completely agree.
It's fun. I loved it. It's so fun. I like being on people's streams because I don't have to think or worry about anything. I only have Discord up, so I have the fewest amount of distractions as possible. Otherwise, I stutter to no end. It's insane. I cannot get out a coherent sentence.
Well, you've been great.
I appreciate you.
Jasper Lane for 10 says, "Remnant, your channel focuses on politics, but do you have an interest in dabbling into other things such as media with or without the political aspect, either on your channel or a second channel?"
Maybe, but that's not what people are really interested or like to watch. And here's the thing. For me, I have a list of dozens and dozens and dozens of ideas. I personally want to talk more about some stuff I find to be interesting, and I think maybe the more dedicated part of my audience would find interesting, which is solely about people. But I think I'm going to have another editor make content for the Patreon and post more of it there. But for the most part, here's my view. I don't view something as useful or impactful if it doesn't reach as much people. My methodology is I have a list of dozens and dozens of video ideas that I want to cover and I am genuinely interested in and I think is valuable. And then I look through them and I think which one would perform the best and do the best. And I focus on that.
Yeah.
And things that are not political are just not up there, sadly. You know, if I could make any sort of content I want and it would always do well, I would just make animations. That's what I would do. I would do stories.
Which
I do unhinged stories.
Which speaking of which, your like editing style, that was one of the first things I noticed when I watched one of your videos. I was like, this is sick, dude. This is so cool. Like I love that. I don't know how you do it, but this almost like it feels almost like stop motion. It's really cool. I really like it.
I appreciate it.
It's very unique.
It reminds me of like you were talking about this before, which is like the people, I forgot the exact detail you said earlier, how people don't know how to be interesting and they think that the only way you can be interesting or entertaining is you have to be very arrogant and you have to just be bad faith and all the rest. They don't know how to be entertaining or interesting otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were at that part. This is another way you can be entertaining and interesting with just, despite being, you know, how do I put it? I'm at a loss for the exact words. It's just another way to boost the video, I guess you could say, the entertainment value without being bad faith or arrogant or narcissistic or any of that stuff.
Yeah, just being original, which is a novel concept to quite a few people. Yeah.
I mean, people will keep being unoriginal the more we reward it, you know?
Yeah.
Why do they have a reason to stop?
That's true. I mean, it's literally like the most efficient path kind of thing, where that's the sad part. As long as it's the most efficient path and is rewarded in that way, it's just going to continue to be used. Yeah. Okay. We've got one from Lost Monster Man 42. What is your favorite action movie?
I don't know. Shit. I haven't been watching movies as of late. I've just been watching Joe Bart. I don't know. Whenever I think of like one of my favorite movies, I don't mean to be like, you know, what would it be? It's just like a meme at this point, but it's still one of my favorite movies. Blade Runner 2048. Shit, am I getting the numbers right?
Dude, I think so. Is it 2048 or 2049? I can't remember.
Oh, wait, yeah, 2049. Fuck. I'm a poser.
No, you're not. But
2049, that's it.
Sick.
Because I really
sick
like
movie.
it so much.
Sick
It's
movie.
such a good movie.
Yep. And the original too. The original too. Awesome.
I never
awesome.
could get into the original though.
Really?
Never could.
Really?
Yeah. Here's the thing, you guys, everybody hates me for this, but it's always like with the older games and the older movies, they're like, bruh, Fallout New Vegas is so great, man. You should try it out. I'm like, I can't get myself to play it. It's so old. It's just too archaic for me with the style. I can't.
That's fair.
I'm just unable to get myself to enjoy something's past a certain age or time. And just like the older Blade Runner movie, it's just one of those things.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, for me, it's like, I mean, the story's good, but like for me, so much of it is the aesthetic, which, I mean, you obviously still see in like 2049, but it's, I just think it's so, I don't know, it's very captivating for me. I can sometimes just get lost in like the prettiness of the aesthetics of something.
Yeah.
But cool. Okay, and then we have from the Jack of Slades for $2. Do you still stand by the old homophobia video that you made that we talked about earlier on stream?
Yeah, I do. Here's the interesting thing. So I took that video down because I think it's genuinely a liability to the channel. My opinions have been changing, and I wanted to make a video going more into depth to substantiate a lot of my claims and the things I was saying. The interesting part is I made a video. The video I made, I mentioned at the end sexual orientation change efforts, which I don't want to get the video flagged, but it sounds like, you know, how do I put it? It got my video flagged and it had it demonetized, so I don't want to say it here. But it's like, it's a form of therapy and everything. I view that if you're doing a therapy or anything in order to, how do I get this? I don't want to. This is why I was also going to make a Patreon video, because you can't talk about this on YouTube without it being problematic. I've learned a lot of interesting stuff. In my video, I talk strictly about the biology. I never go into any detail about the environment. I believe it is heavily environmental, and there's a lot of evidence to substantiate that, and a lot of things that even make sense with people who are gay according to themselves. I've had a lot of people come up to me and talk about this. Actually, here's the thing I can't say on YouTube. So a video, look at this, guys. Say this freely. I made a video. It's one of my more popular videos. It says, let me get to it. I forget the exact title, and I want to make sure I get it right. How to not raise a thought daughter. And I go into how your environment changes your brain, the hypothalamus and everything, which affects so much of your behavior and is responsible for so many of these mental disorders and different things like that. Commonly ones you see in the certain groups of peoples. I'll just say that because I really want to make sure nothing happens to this video. But you can watch the video. At the beginning, I say, would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter? Well, today we're talking about how to not have a thought daughter. It was actually a funny trick question. It applies to both. I genuinely believe that. It will get me a lot of hate, but from what I've seen, when it comes to the brain and how so much of our environments can impact us, who we are, our sexuality, different things like that, it is without a doubt true. I wanted to make a video on Patreon going into detail about how our environment can change our sexuality and things like that. And I was going into detail and I was listening back to it and I thought to myself, what if I had a son or if I had a daughter and they never got permission to listen to this video, and I just found out that they're listening to this type of video, this information talking about in detail, because I have to go into detail if I want to substantiate my big claims I make in there. I have to go into graphic detail about things like sexual fetishes and pornographic material and how it affects our brain and why and what ways. I have to go into graphic detail. That makes me sound like a freak. I was thinking, I also don't know who's going to be watching this video. I have no reliable way of making sure adults only watch this video. I could make it 18 and plus, super easy to bypass. And like, how can I lecture somebody like Leaflet for having very like just inappropriate material, pornographic material on her Discord channel with such loose restrictions, and then I go around the very next day making a video about sexual fetishes in graphic detail without doing my due diligence or having a reliable way of filtering out who watches the video. I can't. So I just didn't make that video. However, I do stand by it, and I've learned so much stuff. I actually retracted originally my video. I responded to Alec Gunter where he said he pulled up a study saying that sexual orientation change efforts is actually extremely harmful. I originally then retracted, and I said, I didn't do my due diligence and research. I can see how the study I covered was biased because it was made by a Catholic and he was probably very homophobic. That's how he got his results with this stuff. No, it's actually much more complex and deep. I 100% stand by what I said in the other video. I would even double down if I could, but I can't go into detail about that because it fucking sucks because I can't control who watches my videos, and I'm not going to sound like a freak in front of our undoubtedly going to be minors watching the video. I don't want to do that. Right. So I'm stuck in a very odd, weird position, but that's my unfiltered thoughts as much as I can go into detail about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Well,
I didn't mean to spurg out, by the way.
No, you didn't spurg out. You just explained. You're good, dude. Well, that's all the questions we got. So, Remnant,
that was fun.
That was a ton of fun. I'm so glad that we got this to happen because I know it's been a while in the making. So,
and it's perfect timing because with that video you were like, bro, does he even know? Does he even know how bad things are and who he's talking to? I'm like, Himpleton, I think it's time for us to have that collaboration we were talking about. Let's clear some stuff. I don't want people to walk away with the impression that I'm fine with this degenerate stuff. Did you like record here?
Did you like the Riddler clip I played from Batman at the beginning of that?
I was like, honestly, it made me feel so bad. Like, oh fuck, I really messed up here, didn't I?
No. None of us, as you saw, like none of us were like, oh no, he's terrible. Like we were all just like, dude, he doesn't know.
One comment said, and it literally felt like it was directed at me. Like he knew I would be reading this. He said, Remnants, you have no idea how unpleasant this quote-unquote pleasant conversation you're having is having on me, or something like that. I'm like, oh no, I want to click, the commentary. And then you also made a claim about the commentary community. Like he was pretty warm with the commentary community, and I don't know where he is now. I'm thinking, I'm still around here. I'm not swaying back and forth. Oh no, people are gonna think I'm like flippity floppiting back and forth by talking to these random people I don't even know. Here's the truth. I wanted to have a fun conversation. I'm respectful by default. She was respectful, so of course I'm going to treat her nicely. I didn't treat her nicely because I am supporting.
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
Let's make that clear, And I'm not flippity floppiting back and forth because of what's profitable or which way the winds are blowing. Like I'm literally, whenever I talk about this shit, I lose people, Right. And if I want to, let's say I'm going full grift mode. We're in grift mode now. I don't talk about VTubers or critique them or talk about any of this lolly stuff. I don't talk about how I view this as evil. I'm not sugarcoating it. It's like when you're depicting children in, I don't want to get the video flagged. You're depicting fictional drawings of children inappropriately and in perverted ways. That's evil. No other way to word it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, right there, me saying that, I lost 10 people.
Which is ridiculous.
It's insane. It's insane.
No, 100%.
And what you guys saying in the commentary community, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, Sunday Math just said throwback to the Jack Horner video.
Jack Horner. Oh, how's the throwback to the Jack Horner video? I'm curious.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I have to see what he says. You have to DM me what you exactly mean by that Sunday.
But
that was a fun video.
But yeah, this was a ton of fun, Remnant.
This was.
I'll keep in touch. And I will continue to be a faithful viewer of your videos.
Yes, because that's the only reason why I came on here.
No,
I had to renew the subscription to watch my videos.
No. I mean, to be clear, I wasn't gonna stop. I wasn't gonna stop.
I didn't even know you. Like, I knew you reacted to and liked the leaflet video. I didn't even know you liked any of the other video. I literally thought you only liked the leaflet video. But that's cool. I really appreciate. I'm happy you like the others.
Of course.
Really do.
Of course. Yeah. As
Hopefully
I said before,
that,
you're a rare breed. You know. Unfortunately.
Hopefully, I can be that guy that you don't agree with, but you could be like, wait. I want to hear his reasoning. Let him cook. And then I'll tell him why I disagree with him.
Yes. No. 100%. 100%. That's what I love about it, for sure.
It's fun.
But yeah, man, you have a great rest of your night, and I'll talk to you later.
I hope the conversation and call you're gonna have goes out great and everything.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. You have a good one, man.
All right. You too. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye. What a wonderful, wonderful interview, guys. I enjoyed that so much. That's genuinely like one of my favorite interviews that we've had in a while. Okay. I like the one that we did with Max, to be clear, last night, but that one was just a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, guys. Let me call Aiden real quick because he was bothering me. And if he doesn't pick up, I'm just ending. I'm gonna be real. But I do have somebody to raid you into, so stay here, so I can raid you in, so I can support other content creators. Please let me do that, please. I want to support a little known. Okay, Aiden didn't pick up. I don't care. I want to support a little known live stream called Wall Smashers, who one of my best friends, like a brother to me, Flatley, is on. So guys, please stay in here and let yourselves get raided. Okay, but guys, I had so much fun tonight, and I really thank you for joining me, and especially the Remnant fans out there who joined me. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow with the Jar Calls retrospective, including a brand new one that has never been debuted to the public until tomorrow night. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your night.